Another man done gone. Another man done gone from the county from another.
It's Jax.
man done
What up,
gone.
Dallas? Let's go.
Martin Luther had a dream, but Freddy Krueger had a Ruger. Ex-Malcolm out the picture, so now we back to the future. Now we back to these losers embracing death like they used to. Poking out they chest, but listen, son, now you leaking that future. So who's the shooter? Is it your man? Or was it a fan? Or was it a stand? I would beg to differ. In hindsight, I bet you he say he was not a nigga. Plus Biggie Smalls was just minding his business, yo. Smoking an Optimo. Somebody got to drop the homie Biggie has got to go. And they couldn't stop it, no, I wish that they could. Yeah, the world needs change, but man, I wish that we would. So why the long frown? A man harmed from a 4 pound. His blood ripples on the floor from the war sound. His mama sitting at the wake, hoping the Lord's found. Another dead, another gone now. Damn.
Another man done gone. Another man done gone from the county from another man done gone.
George Eliot said that it's best to be what you wanna be. Fucking do what you wanna do, so I do what I wanna do. Bet you did it to floss. Bitch, I did what I wanted. Bet you did it and lost. Bitch, I did it and won it. Shit, I'm never coming back. Listen, I just wanna rap. Gee, I told y'all all of that. On about a dozen tracks. I don't give a fuck. I just wanna rap. Spitting fire on this track like a fucking Thundercat. Plus this mic is bleeding roho. This shit is a no-no. Rolling in that low-low. Plus I'm from that Baltimore. Need a folk, smoking on my logo. Ready for the woe, and we so silly with the flow. Somebody got a ropo. Heard the lanes and I swear they so too much love for the fame just to go broke. You said think I had the rap game in the chokehold. Never think I got the whole world in a rope. Gotta think of damn dog, you crazy. Is he the next Jay-Z? My crystal ball is hazy, but I don't know, maybe.
Welcome back to the Insanity Check podcast. You're our host, Kriss here, and joining me today is somebody who's no stranger to the network because he's been on the Hell No Cubits when we do them, and we did do one recently, so
yes.
You've heard his voice. You can't complain. Like we said last time, if you're a premium member, you heard this. You get him when you get him. Part of the Decepticomics comedian John. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, get it when you get it.
You get it when you get it, man. Like I'm just saying.
That's the best tagline for any podcast.
Hey, Little Lucky Show. When you guys gonna get it? When you get it. It reminds me of like in the 90s there was all that talk about Duke Nukem, right? It was like Duke Nukem 3D, and they were like, when we're gonna get the new Duke Nukem game? When it's done. Well, when's it gonna be done? When it's done. It's like, but that's not really an answer. We're fans, and we want to enjoy the goodness. Why are you treating us this way? Just man, it's just all bad.
It's such a black parent answer.
Mm-hmm. Are we there yet? Boy, does it look like we done there? Does it look like we there yet? Why are you asking questions? Why you ask a question with the answer to? I'm just Oh boy. How you doing, man? Like, when I said you were going to be on the show, it's like, yeah, man. It was like, yes, sir. I was like, yeah, I'll get you some show notes. And I'm really glad that I didn't get you show notes because, like, everything went to hell in, like, less than 12 hours. In good ways. But, like, I would have thrown out all the show notes we had and done this, man. How you been, man?
Oh, I'm okay. I worked a lot yesterday, but I actually slept. So that's really all my life revolves around. Sleeping and work.
Yeah. I have my new job, and I'm literally commuting. I make it sound nice by saying it's only an hour and a half when I come back home. Sometimes it's 2 hours. Sometimes I drive 2 hours.
One way?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. It's you know what? You know the worst part about it? It's all traffic. Because in the morning I can get there 35, 40 minutes. No problem. Speed, fine. But if this week I had some people come over to cut some branches off of the tree, so I left work early then. I left at like 1:30. Got home 44 minutes. If I leave any time after 2:30, between 2:30 and 6, I'm looking at an hour and a half to 2 hour drive.
They need more roads out there. That's the thing about the South. Since there's like since there's so much empty space, is like there's usually only one way to get back and forth to a place.
Yeah, they made the commuting around the Beltway just, it is terrible. No matter what you do, it's just, there's bottlenecks. There's too many things. It's too many fucking people. It's too many fucking people. I mean, that's the real thing here. We can build more roads, more houses. You can build all the. It's too many fucking people. It's too many fucking people.
And that's why we need to start summoning some elder gods. No.
Mm-hmm. Like you say elder gods. I was going to, and it's very problematic. I know this, but I was going to suggest maybe we start hunting people.
Huh?
I was going to suggest maybe we start hunting people.
Oh.
I mean, we do it. We do it with deer. We do it with deer. It's overpopulated. There's too many people here.
When there's too much deer, sometimes they introduce natural predators.
I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, we just need to introduce wolves to the population.
walk into an office building and let out a pack of wolves and bears, and be like, hey, do your thing.
Just like one office mountain lion.
Right.
That's all it takes. The office mountain lion.
I'm just saying, we need to, like, and you know what? And to be fair, we can't, because if we're gonna do this, we need to do this right, because we as human beings have evolved into, we have a technology and all that other stuff. So we need to evolve the animals too. And so I know this is like an Austin Powers joke and stuff like that, but literally start sticking lasers on them. Like, literally, let's start outfitting cyborg bears. Yeah,
no, we need bearcats, like literal bearcats. Start crossing bears with lions and falcons with cheetahs.
Look, this is the one aspect of science fiction that humans never seem to go into, even though we know it's a bad idea. Like, we'll go, and I got plenty of stories today on like robot shit, people doing shit with robots. But like, we don't do that shit with animals and things like that. Yeah, I'm saying let's make a super shark that walks on land and is crossed with a bear. Let's do it. It's a bad idea, yes, but we need that, because like when I'm driving on these highways, it really does feel like, you're out in the plains somewhere and you see like a herd of buffalo, like trying to get from one location to another. Like, that's what we are in our cars. Now imagine if we had like some kind of super predator that came by and just like plucked off the slow people that are driving in the fast lane.
Yeah.
Like, just swooped down and grabbed them with the talons and flew off. We need some shit like that. We need some natural predators, or maybe some unnatural predators. It'll make things easier.
Yeah, like I'm all for the bearcat, but like, there's giant falcons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, sharks that can walk on land.
We already have bears, so I'm just saying you cross, and bears to me are land sharks. Like, anytime I saw this hilarious video, it was a mama bear and her like 4 cubs in the backyard, and they were trying to crawl. The mama bear crawled over the fence out of the yard, and then the little baby bear cubs were trying to do it too, and they're like, "Oh my god, they're so adorable!" I'm like, this is the problem with us now. They are not adorable because they're going to grow up to be land sharks, and they're going to eat you. And I'm not saying you should kill them, but I'm just saying the fact that you have no sense of fear for what you just saw crawling out of your backyard, that's a fucking problem, man. It's a fucking problem. It is a serious fucking problem. We do not respect it. So, Mother Nature, I'm just saying, you need to get your shit together. We don't respect you. We treat Mother Nature like the Warriors fucking treated the Cavs going into the game 4 last night. No respect. So we need to do. So Mother Nature needs to pull a LeBron and Kyrie and come in and kick our ass. That's what Mother Nature needs to do. I'm just saying, get your shit together, Mother Nature.
Yeah. Well, I think storms. I think the weather is how Mother Nature is getting us back. It's way more effective.
Yeah.
Like drought and tidal waves and hurricanes. That wipes out a good deal of people at a time.
Yeah, I mean that, and also I remember there was that time when like every year it was a new kind of like animal flu, like pig flu, bird flu, cow flu, there's always something like that. And those are nice and I get those, but we still don't respect that. We don't, like, we're scared of hurricanes, but it's like for instance, I'm in Maryland, we don't get earthquakes. So I'm like, fucking earthquakes. Don't live there. If you're in like if you're somewhere that doesn't get hit by that kind of natural disaster, you're just like, fuck it. You don't care. We need something that is like across the board that scares the shit out of us. Like when you're walking out of your house, you go, hey, you know, look out for those Bearcats. You know, they're there. You never see them. Like we need something like that. Like we actually need, and I'm really just on a kick of this because I've been doing all these movies. We need a predator. You know, something that you can't see that hunts us. That's what we fucking need. Like we need an alien to come down and be like, you know what we're gonna start doing? Hunting humans for sport. You never know when we're gonna be there. You just got to be prepared.
Well, you know what's gonna wipe us out. I realized this the other day. Our brains are too evolved. So and I think like all these neuroses and racism and sexism and everything. I think it's because we think so much that we're like all of our demons are so powerful because our brain generates all our biggest fears, and that's what drives us to kill each other. So I think we're going to wipe ourselves out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Oh no! At the rate we're going, we're definitely wiping ourselves out.
Yeah. I mean, if I had the Necronomicon, I would get some of those unnamed horrors from before our time in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, that's what we deserve.
Yeah. No.
And it would improve traffic.
Oh, and I'm sorry, but and this is where, because I'm selfish, that is where all my anger towards mankind comes down to traffic. If it will free up some traffic, I'm pro it.
That would be my pact. I'll release you from your millennia-long slumber as long as I always have a parking spot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can I get around? Can I drive? You know, and like I said, my job is not that far away. It's only like, to me, like in today's society, 30 miles should not be a long way away, right? It takes me way too long to get there, though. Like 30 miles is not a long time. And you know how I know it's not a long time? Phenom and I didn't talk about this when we did our review, but actually maybe we did. So there's a new movie that came out this weekend called It Comes at Night. Terrible fucking movie. Don't go to see it. Unless you're an aspiring filmmaker who wants to look at camera work, has some really good things going on with camera work there, but as an entertainment form of entertainment, it's a shitty fucking movie. Anyway, at one point in the film, one of the side character comes in, and he says that he left his family 50 miles away in this house, and he found this other group here because he was looking for, water and food and stuff like that for his family who were 50 miles away. And I'm like, so this motherfucker walked 50 miles? And it wasn't that, and we're talking about that's fine, but like in today's society, me driving 30 miles takes me fucking forever. It makes no goddamn sense. It's too many fucking people. We need something. Like, I don't know. I am voting for whoever in the next election can come up with something. Like if Donald Trump was to tomorrow come out with some effective means of me getting to work in under an hour. Well, getting home from work. I can get to work in under an hour. Getting home from work in under an hour. I consider voting for him. I have my limits, but I'm not saying I'd consider it, not saying I would. I'm just saying I would hear him out. Like, wait, maybe, hey guys, I'm just saying maybe racism and bigotry and sexism, it might be a good trade-off. I would, like, if they told me, all right, Kriss, in order to get home from work in 40 minutes or less, you gotta listen to this one radio station where a white dude calls you a nigger for 40 fucking minutes. Sign me the fuck up. Sign me the fuck up. Sign me the fuck up. I will take that. I'm sorry. I have no shame in that, but yeah, when you look down the clock and you realize you left work at 3 and it's now 5 o'clock and you're just pulling into your driveway. Let's hear all this racism proposal right now. Listen, I'm not saying I'd vote for it. I'm just saying I don't want to listen to some of the points. I want to hear both sides. Just saying. Just saying.
If I was a demon, I was trying to get souls, I would just go up to people stuck in traffic on a parkway.
Right.
I would get everything. People stuck on traffic will sell you anything to not be in traffic.
Oh man!
Like, your soul or your firstborn? Fine. Get me out of this goddamn traffic.
You want the second born too? I'll give you the second born. You know, I mean, I'm open for negotiations. They have a demon showing up. And that's it would work. You're right. It would absolutely fucking work. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. I can't. It is just. And you know the thing that gets me about it is, it never makes any sense. Like, again, we're starting the show problematic because this is what we're gonna do. So it's a safe space. So I'm planning on, you know, if you give me emails about this, it's fine. I can't be the only one though, and this is how I know. The reason why I feel safe saying this shit, because even if you email me going, that was fucking wrong, I can't believe you said that, I'm gonna email you back going, but you know you were thinking it too. So, because if you ever sat in traffic, I know you had thoughts like this. You ever sit in traffic so long, and you're sitting there and you're hoping and praying that there's an accident up there where they're using the jaws of life? I know I do. Like, I'm like, if I'm sitting there for 40 fucking minutes, I'm like, you better be pulling somebody out of the fucking car with the jaws of life and putting them into a goddamn helicopter. I don't give a fuck what you're saying. Like, oh yeah, no, I'm, and then you get there and you find out, you know what it is?
It's flat tire.
It's either a flat tire, that's usually a bad one. It's some goddamn cop car who has pulled somebody over for speeding, but they put the back end of their car into the lane, so people can't get by them in a natural way, or it's literally just some workers sitting on the side of. They're not even working; they're just sitting there, and that's somehow.
You know what actually makes me want to murder people? When there's a bunch of traffic and then it just stops, like there's no reason. Like, everybody just starts driving faster at one point.
Yeah.
It's like, what the ever-loving fuck was that?
Yeah. And there's never an explanation. Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, you can literally see, like, at a certain point, everybody just starts driving faster. And it's...
It is one of those things that just... It's so goddamn frustrating. You never understand why. There's never an explanation for why traffic is like that. You're just like, where are all you people going? What are you doing? Why are you here? You ever look at somebody else's car and see that they're not dressed for work and go, why the fuck are you out here? Like, I've done that before too. like I'm driving home from work. I'm in my work clothes. I'm stressed. I'm fucked. I'm trying to get home. And there's some like surfer dude in like, you know, a cut off sleeve shirt with some sunglasses on. I'm going, why the fuck are you on the goddamn road right now? Don't you know what time it is? It's people like me trying to get home from work. What the fuck are you doing on the road? Yeah, man. It's I turn problematic when I'm on the road, man. I'm just saying, man. Like, I understand road rage. You know, you just sit there, you get angry for no fucking reason. You start off it's fine, and then you start realizing it's like, why is this here? Why is this going on? So, man, so good.
I don't get angry too much because because I have two jobs and one of them's really close to me. So when I have to go far, it's like I don't have to do it all the time. So it balances out.
Yeah,
my one is really close to the other is really far. So
yeah, it is just one of those things, and it's just gonna get worse because everybody's still. Because now the whole big thing is everybody's out there fucking, you know, and so you know. And fuck condoms and birth control. So there's gonna be more of us out there. So it's just not. We need some natural predators. We need some natural predators.
Yeah.
Just somebody to come out and just pluck us off one by one. You know, just thin the herd a little bit. That's all we need. You know. And it can't be something like, you know, systemic racism. Like, I know somebody's gonna hit me with that. It's like, well, you know, that's what systemic racism and eugenics. I'm like, no. It needs something natural, something that doesn't give a fuck if you're rich or you're poor or whatever. It's just, you know, it's hungry and it sees you and it wants you and that's it. You know, I'd even take it targeting the rich. You know, fuck it. I don't know, make it some kind of, you know, affluent, hungry bearcat or something. I don't fucking know. Just make it something. There needs to be less of us.
I'd actually feel proud to be killed by a bearcat. It's like, you know what it took to bring me down? Goddamn bear and a cat together.
Yo, and you'd be the first. To be the first person, you'd be like a legend. You'd be like, "Yo, this is the first man ever brought down by a bearcat." It was it's an epic battle of 5 hours, and but sadly he lost his life, and but we give tribute to John now, and we now know the dangers of Bearcats out there. So everybody, make sure when you step out of here, you bring your Bearcat spray, and remember to make yourself look large and never show your teeth. Could they take that as a threat? So yeah.
The problem is a Bearcat could probably be distracted by a laser pointer.
A big ball of yarn.
Yeah, it might reduce its effectiveness.
Oh man. Oh God. Anyway, this is an Handy Check podcast. This is why I'll talk about it later on, but we have NeoCon coming up this week, and we're putting together, each show is doing 40 minutes of their show, and I sent some of the notes to the doctor, and she's like, I just want you to know, this is more like the notes for a 3-hour show, not a 40-minute show, because I was like, yeah, I know, there's no way that we can just do 40 minutes in regular show notes, because we just go off on topics. Like, what we're talking about right now is not even supposed to be a topic, and we're already 20 minutes into the show. Like, it's just, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what we're doing here, guys. I don't know what we're doing here. Anyway,
the problem, I have ADD, and you don't stop me, so that's how we end up in Bearcats.
Yeah, it's just, and you say Bearcats, and I become intrigued. I'm like, well, that would actually be interesting. So, yeah, it's just before we get further into some of the stuff, the show, the housekeeping stuff for the show, because there is a lot of stuff I want to cover with that. John, I know you have an event coming out soon, this week actually, and but you said it's Long Island. Can you tell me what this event is?
It is the Geek Show. It's GEEK, genuinely entertaining and essential knowledge.
That is very geeky. I just want to let you know right now, that is some geeky ass nerd shit right there. What you just did. that is like, I'm literally going nerd.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, it's got to be an acronym. So it's a stand-up comedy talk show at the Creek and a Cave in Long Island City, New York, at 10 p.m. on Wednesday the 14th. So yeah, it's next Wednesday, and we basically have stand-up comics on, and they talk about their geek. They tell all their geekiest jokes and their nerdiest jokes that they wouldn't be able to tell in front of like regular audiences. And, so we have people in who actually get that stuff. So, cause it's hard to get jokes for people. Like our first show, we had Leanne Lord on, and she told like 5 minutes of Hitchhiker's Guide jokes. And I was in tears. It was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. We had TV's Frank Conniff, who was TV's Frank on MST3K. And he gave us the best compliment. He's like, I've been on shows before where people said they were nerdy, and they were like, hey, you guys heard of Star Wars? But he was like, no, you guys are the real thing. You are really, really deep. Because I was telling jokes about, I had this joke about Green Lantern and Sinestro hooking up like in Moonlight. And
sorry,
because I'd heard the guy who was one of the guys in Moonlight was being pitched to play Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. So then I had this kind of like Brokeback Mountain kind of thing happening with Sinestro, and him having to use yellow condoms. It was filthy. But yeah, so this show is going to be. It's going to be about disaster movies and the end, because we're not sure if we're going to have another show after it if people don't come. So it's we were saying it's kind of like one of those, like Arrested Development or Community, where they didn't know if they were going to be renewed. Mm-hmm. So they kept making references to not knowing about the future. Right. Into this show.
Yeah, so if you're in the area, folks, if you can make it out there, please go and check this out. It sounds like it's going to be hilarious, particularly if you're a nerd or a geek. Sounds like it's going to be right up your alley.
And and Dylan Stevenson is going to be in it too. You guys might know him from Twitter, the Dylan1, Joe Biden's favorite tweeter. He is.
Pivert.
And
he's his dad jokes are some of the best.
no, no, he is. Did you ever see the article in Time
Yeah.
that where Joe Biden's daughter showed him Dill's tweet
Mm-hmm. The memes.
about the memes. So yeah, he's you guys know Dill. He's awesome. So yeah, we co-host the show, and it's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. Sounds like definitely check it out, man. If you guys do it again, man, you guys should really do it around New York Comic Con, because I'm pretty like people would fucking die during that.
Yeah. All you people in New York, like, I know there's a lot of nerds. I know you're nerds, and I know nerds aren't social, and I know nerds sit in their houses and do their nerd stuff. But you can leave your house and do nerd stuff. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's when you're among other nerds, it's always its best. It's different, So
Yeah. Leave your house sometimes.
shower
It's
first.
okay.
Shower first, though. Shower first.
Yeah. You know what? I don't even care. It's a big
shit.
theater. It's aerated.
Oh man, that sounds great, man. This is one of the things that makes you realize. And God, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. It's one of the downsides of me. Like I'm like, oh, maybe I should be in New York, because things like this. I get so many press opportunities that are for New York that I can't do because I'm not living in New York. But then I remember that I don't like New York, so then I go, well, shit. Okay, never mind.
Well, that's why I live in New Jersey.
Valid. That is a very good point there, sir. That's a very good point there.
I can go to New York, and then I can go home.
Right. I can pretend like New York doesn't exist anymore. So
it's only there when I need it.
Oh man. Speaking of events, if you have bought your tickets for NegroCon, we will see you all on Saturday at RFD. Phenom and I went down on Friday to double check the venue. It's funny, they were actually setting up for a comedy show. And it looks really, really great. We'll be able to get everybody in there, and every show is kind of set up their own little thing. The order is MTR. I don't think we told Rod this, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows. MTR Network, then Where's My 40 Acres, and then Rod and Karen will go, and then we have some things in between. I know we're starting the show off with an intro for everybody, with everybody there. The original Four Loco podcast folks are going to be there, and it's gonna be fun. Like I'm really hoping you guys come out, and you already bought tickets. So if you bought tickets, then you should come out, because you're not getting a refund. So I would definitely show up. You're gonna get your free drink tickets if you bought your tickets there, and it's gonna be loads of fun. We're gonna have it's gonna be great. Also, if you're also coming out for AwesomeCon, you'll see some of us out there in AwesomeCon. I know some people from MTR Network do have press passes, and so they'll be covering some of the con there. And I don't know where. Please don't ask me when and where I will be, because here's the thing: I'm kind of hoping to set this thing up, NegroCon. So I know myself, and I know I'm gonna be very stressed, and I'll be running around trying to make sure everything gets done. So don't ask Kriss until maybe Sunday where Kriss is at, because Kriss is probably out doing a ton of different things. So, but you will see me at the event. We're gonna have pictures. We're probably gonna do some little video, take some small videos of people what you guys thought of the event and things like that. So it'll be great, and we're already looking at what we can do in the future. And I've been talking to some people about things we can do in the future. So just keep an eye out for that. It's gonna be great. We're gonna really enjoy it, and yeah. So there's that. Also, the store for the MTR Network is now officially up. And thank you to everybody who's bought things in the store so far this week. It's store.mtrnetwork.net. I think we have 8 shirt designs up right now. There will be more coming out soon. We don't have all the designs up right now. And there is a mug you can get. And like I said, people have been buying them. They look really, really nice. I got my Malcolm and Martin shirt. That's basically as Malcolm X as Magneto, and Martin Luther King as Professor X. Shout out to Jamie Zoo Design Works for all the designs he did. They look really great. Like I said, I got my Malcolm and Martin shirt yesterday. It looks really, really good. So again, go out there to the site right now for the next week through NegroCon and AwesomeCon. Everything is on sale. the prices go up on the 21st of June. So right now, if you want something, go out there and get it now. The prices will go up slightly in June. So head out to store.mtrnetwork.net to buy some stuff. I mean, there's plenty of stuff out there, and share it with your friends. You know, we're coming up on con season right now. Like, awesome cons coming up. We have San Diego Comic-Con in just over a month. San Diego. I know we'll be out there. Myself, Phenom, and Shanna will be out there covering San Diego Comic-Con once again for you guys, for your enjoyment. So and just keep an eye out for the site. We're doing a lot more on mtrnetwork.net. We're trying to write more. We're getting more news pieces out there. We're really trying to build up the site now. I know everybody listens to the podcast. That's great. We also want to start going to the website. You know, start leaving comments, sharing articles, and things like that. We're going to, even with our podcast articles, we're going to try to write more in those so people actually, you know, sometimes you can't listen to the podcast right away. So we're going to try to have something on the site so that you can read a little bit of what we're thinking and listen to the whole podcast when you get a chance. So really go to mtrnetwork.net and start sharing that stuff and listen to that. And again, we're on the Facebook group and the Facebook page. Like both, join the group, and MTR Network on YouTube and on Instagram. So get all that stuff going. And as always, premium. You know, we got a lot of stuff going on premium. Still got another Hell No Cupid episode to put up on there. I think I know there's another. They're doing Docu-Drunks this weekend, and there's another Molecules and Shit episode coming soon. And I know I gotta double check, but I know we have some of the Star Wars Rebels stuff has been recorded. We just need to get the episodes up soon as well. So there's a lot of stuff coming out on premium. Join $8 a month. Again, it's what helps us. I just bought a new camera body to help us with our video rig at San Diego Comic-Con. Like, all that money comes from what you guys buy from shirts, you donate, what you do from premium. All that stuff comes, helps us buy equipment, helps us pay for the rooms. We were able to get 2 rooms this year, so we're now all crammed into one. And it's really, really great. So go out there, continue to share. And again, once we hit 200 members in premium, we will bring back live shows, and it'll be easier for us to pay for streaming and do that. So, yeah. So, all right, quickly, our sponsors. This show is... Did somebody just ask me this? Hold on, I'm going to get to this in a second. All right. This show is being sponsored by Susan Berry, the Pool Law Firm, which is located in Silver Spring, Maryland. Susan Berry and Troy Pool are excellent attorneys in the Maryland, D.C. area. They are from the D.C. Maryland area, so if you're in the DMV, please check them out. The Pool Law Firm handles criminal law, family law, and personal injury. So if you need an attorney, you want to know more, head over to their wonderful website. The website is www.thepoollawfirm.com. That's POOLE lawfirm.com. Number 301-585-3014. Also, check out for earbuds and headphones, check out tweakedaudio.com. Put the code in reviews, and you get 33% off, free shipping, and free lifetime warranty off any earbuds and headphones. And, yeah, so hold on real quick. Somebody... Okay, so no, this is one of those things. Somebody just asked me what my thoughts are on the Black Panther teaser. We're going to talk about that on the show in a second here, but I hate when I have an entire timeline of me, geeking out over something, and somebody goes, "So what are your thoughts on it?" I thought it was terrible. I thought it was fucking horrendous. I just hated it. That's why I have an entire timeline of me talking about how much I love it. So, before we get into Black Panther, there is something else that happened literally right before we got onto the show, and I want to talk about Adam West died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was old, so it happens. But I feel like that was a life well lived.
Oh no! I mean, listen. He was 88 years old. So listen, 88 years old. I can't. There's not gonna be one of those. Oh Lord, why you take Adam West from us too soon? It's not one of those things. Yeah, man. And here's the thing. I met him last year at New York Comic Con. They were doing the Batman 66. They did the animated little Batman thing. They brought back the cast, and they were doing the animated Batman film that he put out, the WB put out, and he was doing press for that. So really nice guy, And we all know him as Adam West. We all know Adam West as Bruce Wayne, Batman from the '66 show. But Mayor West on Family Guy, like it's gonna be missed, man. Like you said, it's a long, well-lived life.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna be remembered for a long time. He touched a lot of people. He brought joy to a lot of people. He did voice acting, and it's funny, like his whole life is kind of connected to Batman, and some people shy away from that, and some people embrace it.
Right.
It's like, why when you get connected to a fandom, some people are like, I'm a serious actor, and then they, and it's like, come on, man, it's like everybody likes you for this thing, so do this thing. And it's like Mark Hamill too. It's like, when you get attached to something, and I guess people want to fight against their own success, but it's like, if somebody likes you for what you do, then why say no? I want to do this other thing that I might suck at. Like, look at what's his name, that David Caruso. Everybody loved him on CSI, and he was like, no, I want to be an actor, and then he failed, and now he has nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was like, don't jump off a boat if that boat's doing good.
And I think right, and Mark Hamill did the same thing. He's done a lot of stuff outside of that, but a lot of his voice work, and he's never shied away from that. You got to embrace it. That's what you're known for. That's what made you famous. And, and it's not that we don't think you can do anything else. It's just that's what you are known for. That's the big. You'll never top that, right? And the thing I like about Adam West's Batman is, yes, it's not like if they were to do campy Batman today. Like, I've seen people go, I just can't do the Batman today. It's too dark, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do campy. I can't do campy Batman. I'm sorry, I can't do that shit. It worked for his time period. It worked for what that was. But I can watch that version today. Like, I can still go back and watch those episodes. I can go and watch that little animated show, the animated movie they did. I can do that because it's like a time capsule. But I don't want like you to do another Batman transformation where from now on for the next 20, 30 years he's now campy Batman. I don't want that. But it's nice to look back and just go back and watch that stuff. Like I said, I grew up on it. Like, granted, I'm not that old, but my grandmother, whenever we used to get stay with my grandmothers, she was a hairdresser. She had her own little shop, and what was always on in the shop was TV Land. It showed all those old TV shows, and Batman was one of them. It was Batman. It was Gilligan's Island. It's a bunch of other stuff, but those were the two big ones I always watched. And so I watched. I don't think that was on TV Land, but also the original Star Trek. So I watched all those. I watched all of those. So it's like, when I always tell people, and I'm like, well, that stuff's not good. Yes, but I also realized that it also was important, and it also had. I grew up on it. Like, people, whenever I say this stuff, people get
good, but it's entertaining.
Right.
Like, those are not mutually exclusive.
Exactly. And so it's like, I wanted people to understand that, hey, listen, it's, I'm saying this stuff because I need people not to hold on to it and not let anything else grow from it. But no, I understand the importance because I grew up on that shit. It was important to me. It's, that was probably my introduction to Batman outside of the animated TV show, the animated cartoon. It was Adam West's Batman. It's just what it was, and yeah, it was crazy. So, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. So, yeah, man, he's going to be missed, man. It's going to be, like I said, I mean, between him, Carrie Fisher, there's a lot. We're getting to that part where some of these people are, they're not going to be around much longer, and you gotta enjoy them while you can. And, yeah, so that kind of sucks.
I just mentioned like the Mystery Science Theater. Those people aren't spring chickens anymore. Like, most of the people in that cast, they're in their 60s. Some of them.
Have you watched the new one?
Yeah. I haven't. I haven't watched them all because like I don't. To me, like MST isn't something you just like watch all the way
Right.
through. You know, it's like put it on and then you like turn it off, and it's not like when I was a kid where you just sit there and watch the whole thing. But yeah, no, I think some people like it better than the old ones. It's just because MST is the sort of thing where, and I think people don't get what kind of humor it is. You're not supposed to get every joke.
Right.
If you get every joke, you're some kind of sociopath. Like nobody should get every single reference in MST. Like that's part of the fun is like, oh, I get that one, and then like I don't get that one, and maybe you go look it up, and then you're like, oh, you learned something new. And sometimes it's a dumb joke, and you're like, I don't get it, and it's just a dumb joke. You're overthinking it, and so like I think once you understand what kind of humor it is, then you enjoy it a lot more.
Well,
And plus, it depends on how bad the movie is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because sometimes the movies. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sometimes if the movie is bad, like it has to be a bad movie because it's really hard to make fun of a good movie or an entertaining movie. Because sometimes a lot of the movies from the 50s are bad, but they're pretty entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's the movies that are like bad and boring that you kind of get the most jokes out of.
Yeah.
But if like nothing, then that's hard for everybody.
Yeah, Mystery Science Theater is another one of those shows I grew up on watching. And you're right, I didn't always get all the references in the show, but it didn't matter. It was still funny as fuck to me, and I still love them because just their inflection and the joke and the way the jokes would land, you would laugh anyway, even if you didn't get the 100% the reference of it. And I think it's also just a time period. Like you're definitely gonna get the old Mystery Science Theater references. You don't get most of those, but this new one, I'm like, we really were missing this because there is so much commentary in the new one, and so many of the jokes I do get. I'm like, oh, it's just because it's more relevant now, and this, you need to keep this going. Like this is something we've been missing. Like there's one time at one point they made a Twitter follower joke or something like that. And I was like, oh yeah, we have missed this. Like there's so much is going on, so much has happened. So, man,
it's like that's why I'm a little excited about Animaniacs because if they don't change the way the show is, it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
because it's gonna be all that stuff like. It's gonna be like from all stuff now because Animaniacs and just like the old Bugs Bunny cartoons where they used to have all the actors, the popular actors of their time in the cartoons.
Right.
Like, I don't know if you remember. There was one where like I can't remember what his name is, but Elmer Fudd's a waiter, and they're in this nightclub where all of Hollywood actors are, and the one guy wants a coconut cream pie with whipped cream. And Bugs Bunny keeps preventing him from getting his pie. And I forgot, he was one of those guys that plays a lot of like tough guy gangsters. So like Elmer Fudd was really upset. And like as he's going back, you see all these really popular actors. That's what Animaniacs did. Animaniacs had a lot of popular actors from the time.
Right.
That's where that Prince joke comes from. Fingerprints.
Yeah.
That was from Animaniacs. So if they do it like with today's actors and actresses, it'll be great.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these shows that were so great in their time because they were so topical and they used things in that time, and we just haven't had that in a while. You know, the only thing we really have there are things like the American Dad, Family Guy, and like South Park, but they're more of the adult crass version. Like the Animaniacs, you go back today and you're like, how are we allowed to watch this as kids? You know, this is a kids' TV show. How the fuck was it allowed to watch? Because this is racy. Like this is how do we get away with this? You know, and so yeah, I'm 100% with you on that one. Like it, I am all for it, and I look forward to it. So all right, well that's a good little segue into speaking of things we're looking forward to. So Marvel being Marvel, decided to go ahead and just randomly drop a Black Panther teaser during Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Because fuck it, why not? Right? Why not? You know, the people were calling for it.
Very pretty of them. Take that.
Yeah, just what we've been promoting Spider-Man because and listen. First of all, before we get to Black Panther, have you seen the Spider-Man TV spots, the NBA Final TV spots?
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, they hilarious. Like the one where he's talking to when it's like talking to Friday. It's like go through the guest list for Tony Stark's party. Captain Steve Rogers, too soon. Just you get DJ Khaled in. I'm like, they've been doing a really really great job for those commercials and those TV spots. They're fucking hilarious. But yeah. Black Panther, first black superhero from any major, any one of the major publishers, and finally getting a solo movie. And yeah, man, what'd you think of the trailer? You said what?
I said, but what about Blade?
Was it Blade before? No, I'm talking about comic wise, not movie wise.
No, Blade was the first comic book character. Oh, you mean who was? Oh, the first black. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, Black Panther was definitely. Oh, okay, yeah, he was the first. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Not like everybody tends, but no, I hear you because everybody tends to forget about Blade the movie and what's going on with that. So yeah, I feel that one. But
literally, a what about Blade tweet just came across my timeline.
Yeah, people. yeah, they're right. I mean, it was before, honestly, Blade was before its time. If you think about it, Blade was way before its time. Because it was another R. Because I remember when people were praising Deadpool for R-rated. Oh, good R-rated guy. Like, Blade was R-rated, guys. He did actually 3 movies. And only the third one was trash. I still like the second one, Second one.
Yeah.
I like the second one too because they started throwing in wrestling moves.
Yeah.
You motherfucking suplexing somebody in front of Ron Perlman. Like, how can you not like that fucking movie? Like, I'm sorry.
Triple H, fairly believable as a bad guy in that.
Oh, that was 3. I couldn't do 3.
That was
3 was the one that went to had Triple H in them in it, and that also did that also have Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, it did because he was awesome and he died. I was mad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like Ryan Reynolds, man. He's fucking hilarious. But yeah, man. So what do you think of the trailer? Teaser trailer because it's just a teaser.
That was a teaser. It was like a minute and a half.
I know. This is what they call teaser. That's what they call teasers. That's what they call teasers these days. So.
That was a full ass trailer.
Right. Yeah.
So. But it was like it really. I'm like, this is really like a full ass big budget summer blockbuster movie where he doesn't sharing with anybody. This is African. I was like, this is so black. Like, I think it was like what people felt when they were watching the Luke Cage trailer. But for me, Luke Cage was like, it's like premium cable. It's not even really premium cable. It's Netflix. And it was like, all right, that's cool, but this is big deal. This is like part of, it's not a sub story. It's not a subplot. It's not a sidekick. This is a piece of the major story. The whole thing, it's like he's at the grown-ups table. It's not, and that just hasn't happened before. I don't think.
Yeah,
and not even saying that Blade was, but Blade was a part of something bigger. But it had 3 movies. Blade was a success.
Yeah,
like you can't. Blade was a success. Let's not like try and downplay that. Blade was a success, but it was a part of a big thing like this.
Well, it did. I don't believe Blade got the. Definitely, I know it didn't get the budget. It's not getting the full market. It's not getting what this film is getting. This is, and I know there are a lot of people that got on Marvel for taking their time on this film because at first they had originally had John Singleton out there in 2007 2008 as a director for this and Luke Cage, and Marvel decided to go the MCU route and kind of slow down like. We're going to hold off on these films right now. And I understand the call from people saying that Marvel should have done this back then. It's about time, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to be honest, man. And I had a thread on Twitter about this. I don't see how in 2007, 2008, hell, I don't see how 4 years ago you make this movie what it is. What we're seeing in just that teaser right there, or trailer, I don't see how you make that movie even 5 years ago. Because there's just certain aspects that I've seen already in the film, and just from what we know how Marvel went about picking who was going to be in this film, who was going to direct it, that don't happen, 5-6 years ago. The first person they went after to direct this film was a black woman. They were going to. I mean, we're talking all this talk about, and I think it's great. Hey, Patty Jenkins was given over $100 million budget to do Wonder Woman. It's the first woman to do, make a $100 million film, and all that's great, But when you look at the backing, I would say, from corporate, I don't feel like they backed it the way they would have backed some of, a man. I flat out will say that they didn't do that. But when you look at what Marvel did with Black Panther and how they went about this, they first went after Ava DuVernay to do this. And it's not that they said they didn't want her. She said she didn't want to do the project. She wanted to do something else instead. So Disney hooked her up with A Wrinkle in Time, and they went on. They got Ryan Coogler. And what Ryan Coogler did is, I think, what was her name? Is it Ruth Carter, I think, is the costume designer for Black Panther, and black woman. And there's I believe the director of photography is a black woman. Like, there's a whole laundry list of black women that might not be directing this film, but they are behind this film. And you can tell, and I'll be honest, this is not a slight against, this is not a slam against John Singleton, but I do not believe that if this movie had been made back in 2007 and 2008, that would be true. That we will be able to say that. I do not believe. Yes, Ruth Carter is the one, and she's on Twitter right now talking about the real life influence she's gotten from cultures and tribes in Africa and nations in Africa, where she got her designs from. That would not happen. 5-6 years ago, it just wouldn't. And so, I'm reminded back in, it was like 2011, 2012 or so, when they said that it's really difficult to do Wakanda. We got to take our time, and people were really upset, going, "Well, you do Asgard. Why can't you do?" And I'm like, well, looking at what they did here,
they're right. They know how to do Asgard.
Yeah, I mean, and then when you think about it, and I used to say this all the time, it's like, even we, especially particularly non-African African Americans, we don't know how to do Wakanda, because we know. Be honest, I am ignorant on majority of African culture. Like, we tend to think that because I'm black and you're African and black, that that's all that matters. It's a whole totally different concept. Like, it literally is a foreign concept to me, because I'm not African. I'm not. So,
you're American. I mean, that's as much people like to tell us we're not American.
Right.
We're American.
And that there's a whole, so our what we believe, and we've had to unlearn a lot of this, and I said many of us have moved on. Somebody, actually said on Twitter, it's like, no, very few of us have, and I'm like, man, that's a valid point. We don't know what is good and what isn't. Like, we don't know that. Like, I'm gonna get into this later with some Hoteps going off crazy, but so many of us don't understand. We don't understand what I remember asking last year when it was either last year or when Age of Ultron came out. I put a question at the time. I was like, well, what does Wakanda look like? Oh, it was like Tokyo. I'm like, no. No. It's like, you need to have a blend of, traditional garb and dress and tradition from different African nations. And you also got to figure out where in Africa we're even talking about. Because remember, Africa is not a country. It's a fucking continent. A huge-ass continent. So where are you getting that influence from? Like, there are so many different intricacies that go into Wakanda. Yeah, it's easy to do Asgard. That's just fucking simple. But where do you pull things from to build an African nation that is something that we have never seen before? That not just being a modernized African nation, but being the most technologically advanced society on the face of the planet. Like, that is far beyond anything we've ever seen and ever imagined. And then when you throw in the intricacies of, the different cultures of different nations in Africa, depending on what region you're in, man, that's a lot of fucking work. it's going to take, it probably has taken them years to get to this point, you know?
Yeah.
And
It probably took them a long time because it's like you said, like what does it look like? I feel like Afrofuturism, there's been examples, far before now, but it hasn't, I feel like it's becoming like a movement. Like steampunk has been around for a while, and I feel like this is kind of a corollary of steampunk, but instead of like going back, it's going forward.
mm-hmm.
It's like modern times with futuristic technology.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that is steampunk. It was just Victorian times with futuristic technology, and this is modern times with futuristic technology. So it's like if you take that idea, but yeah, you need people who know about African culture like intimately,
or at least are willing to go and learn. Which again, yeah. I think that's
but know where to look.
Right,
you got to know where to look.
Exactly, and I think that people have underestimated how long it's taken. We understand how long it's taken white people to get to a certain understanding of certain things, but I think especially us as Black Americans sometimes do understand that we have come a long way in what we understand about ourselves and society and things that we have to unlearn. Like, to get political real quick, everybody always talking about Hillary Clinton and the crime bill, and she called it super predators. I'm like, so did a lot of our parents. Like, that was, the Black community supported that, not because Hillary Clinton told us that. Perfectly honest, we told her that, and she was repeating what she heard from us. Like, we supported that. And now, yeah, we look back at it and we're like, oh, that was wrong. And we have a better, deeper understanding of what's going on here. But we have to understand that we had to get to that point first, Like, we were wrong as well, and we have to understand that. And I think that we're now to the part where, and seeing what we see in just, that little trailer there are so many things in there that are just so far beyond what I've seen in any other movie. Like, again, here's the thing. I understand, some people have been complaining about the lack of woman of color in Wonder Woman. And to be perfectly honest, at Wonder Woman, where we are in Wonder Woman, the Black woman in Wonder Woman appeared in there were more Black women in Wonder Woman, and they had larger roles than any other comic book film to date, in recent time. Like, it's just what it is, I'm
surprised there were any, because if you really go back into the Odyssey and Iliad, they talk more about the Amazons, and I think some of them were from North Africa. Like, Wonder
Woman's lore has a lot of women of color. She does.
Yeah,
they're there.
Comic books that, yeah.
Yeah. They're there, but the thing about it is, you got to even think. Look, they're there in the movie, and it wasn't until after the movie came out that WB actually started putting out set images and images of these women in the film. Like, so they didn't even use them as a promotional piece. Then comes Marvel, and almost every scene in that fucking trailer has a Black woman in it, and it's not one Black woman who gets multiple Black women in that. Like, the trailer might have shows Black women more than it shows shows Chadwick Boseman. All right, the lead of the movie. Black women are throughout that film.
Because the first 10 seconds of the movie are the only two white guys in the movie.
Yeah,
I was talking to my friend about that. He was like, I wonder if Martin Freeman's character is like the character who brings the audience into the world of Wakanda, as he's, like the entry point for white America. Like, hey, here's this troll you like, right?
That's what they did with because he's playing Everett K. Ross. That's what they did in Priest's Run. He's the narrator of Priest's Run, and he's literally, white America's eyes into what T'Challa in Wakanda is. That's literally what he was. So maybe they go that route. But
he's a SHIELD agent, right?
Huh? Yeah.
He's a SHIELD agent?
I don't think he was a SHIELD agent. I think he was just regular. He wasn't SHIELD. He was just a government official. He was like the special attaché to. He might have at one point been the ambassador to Wakanda, but I can't remember exactly what his role was. But when he started off, he was just literally just an assistant. he wasn't that. Yeah, he's a fuck up. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, there are black women throughout this film, and you know, that's something we've never seen before. And we keep limiting this stuff to comic book films, but we have not seen this in any film. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
In a big budget blockbuster film, you have not seen this many black women. And I'm going to take a step further. You have not seen this many dark-skinned black women.
Yeah.
In this kind of setting before. And that matters, you know, that is important. And honestly, I think that, you know, and I've gotten on this about people, you know, with their criticisms seem like they criticize more than they give props to. But I will say that the reason why I tend to try to at least hear some of these criticisms is that push is what's gotten us to this point. This is why I think the pushback against Iron Fist and Doctor Strange is important because, hey, as much as we're celebrating here, I would love to see Asians and Asian Americans celebrate, just be able to see themselves on film, just like we are getting. You know, Marvel responded, Disney responded to the criticism, and you see what's happened. I mean, they've been casting black women all over the fucking place. Like, I swear, I've seen more black women cast in Marvel films the last year than I've seen them announce anybody else.
Yeah,
it's just what happened, and you know that's important.
And the thing is about that is that it is important, but I guess, like, I don't feel this way. It kind of annoys me, but I guess people want their representation where they want it too. Mm-hmm. Because like when we've been talking about the Black Panther comic books, how they try, you know, they put all these different ones out and they all fail, but that was partly because of and there's a really good article in the Atlantic about Marvel's business model and how it basically is outdated and it fails a lot of comic books, because if they're not immediately successful, then they get canceled sometimes before they even come out.
Right.
Because, like, for comic books especially, they have to be immediately successful, which that means you don't get to grow a comic book, which means that it's hard to introduce new characters. Mm-hmm. So you know, they had like World of Wakanda, and that was everything, you know, the social justice nerd is really wanted, but it failed because they didn't go out and buy it. So it's like, as much as, you know, people are going to really push for the first weekend of Black Panther to be really big, and I don't think that's going to be hard because it's a movie and people are like, yeah, we have this movie. But I think that the push has to be the same for the comic books, because when you think about a lot of people, they found their heroes in comic books, you know. And if you're really going to start a movement, you know, the movies are fine, but what do you do in between the movies?
Well, I think that comes, it's twofold. Like, I read the same article in Atlantic, and I've said this before. I think, you know, Marvel. And when we say Marvel, all of comic books, Marvel, DC, Image, they've all have a sales problem.
Yeah.
They all do, and it's because of the model, and particularly when we're talking about physical copies. Because I think digital copies, nobody's really tracking those the way they need to, and I think they should, because I think digital is just I buy digitally. It's just easier. I don't have room to be buying all the comics I buy, I wouldn't buy half of them if I had to go out there and get physical copies of them. I just wouldn't. I can't carry them with me. I can't read them. But digitally, all I got to do is carry my tablet. I can read them all. So that's easier. But beyond that, I think also we as consumers also have to step up to the plate. Because so much we don't buy. Like, even that first issue of Black Panther that broke records with how much it sold, it only sold 200,000 when you think about it. Like, only 200,000 people bought that, which is a lot for comic books. But, you know, when you think about the movie and how many people are going to go watch the movie, it pales in comparison. And you get people going, well, I'm going to watch this, but I don't really do comic books. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like there's still this stigma. I think we've talked about this before. There's still this stigma with comic books. Like, I've even seen people go, I don't read comic books, I read graphic novels. I'm like, motherfucker, graphic novels are just comic books put together into one. It's the same fucking thing. You're not reading anything new. You're not above comic books. You're reading a goddamn comic book. Like, I read the saga graphic novel. No, motherfucker, you read the saga trade paperback. That's what it is. You read 6 issues at a time instead of one at a time. That's the only difference here. You're reading the same thing. I think we need to get over that. And I'm saying we, not black people. I mean everybody. If you like these movies, if you like this entertainment, a lot of the same stuff is in comic books. The reason why I read comic books, we have people thinking that they're for kids. I'm like, they're not. They're honestly not for kids. Because a lot of the themes and the things in these books will probably go way over the heads of kids. I know they did when I was younger, and I go back and read them going, oh, that's what they were talking about? Oh, wow. You know? It just is. Like, Coach's Run is a slow, and I've seen people say it's boring, it's slow, but it's very, very political. And it sets the groundwork for everything else they're trying to do with Wakanda. And you see a lot of Coach's stuff in what they're doing in this movie here. You know, and setting and making Wakanda, you know, a living, breathing thing and not just some Hotep vision of what Wakanda is, which honestly, to be perfectly honest, was what Priestess Run kind of was. You know? So, yeah, I think people need to adjust their expectations. You know, it needs to happen on both sides. Like, this is one of those times where I'll say both sides need to do some work. Marvel and DC and all of them need to do better jobs with their promotion. But we as consumers also need to at some point realize that, listen, for some of this newer stuff, you can't read for trade paperbacks. If you want to read Black Panther or any of these newer books, you got to go out and get them. You can't wait for trade paperbacks. You can't wait to build up issues. You got to go out there, pre-order, subscribe. You got to do what we do for everything else. You know, we would never do that for this movie, right? Nobody's going to go, well, it looks really good, but I'm going to wait until it comes out on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Nah, you're going to find some way to scrape together some money and go see this fucking film opening weekend. You're going to do it.
And I understand that the movies reach a bigger audience, but I think the comic book audience informs what movies get made.
Absolutely.
I think the people those 200,000 people get the movie made that reaches the millions of people. So they need to take all this popularity. I mean, the iron's hot. They're doing a terrible, terrible job of funneling that interest back into the comic books.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
You know, and it's like, out of those millions of people, if 2% of the movie buying audience buys comic books, it'll be the most popular comic book. They only need to get 2% of those people who go to see the movie.
Yeah. You know,
if they got 10% of the people that made that, 10% of the people who go to the movie start buying the comic books, it'll be by far the number one seller.
And that's something that I think, you know, I'm not sure if the Atlantic article written that, but other people have been saying too. It's like, hey, you have these movies coming out. Start promoting your movies, the comic books with the movies. I mean, that's what I do with the character corners, right? Hey, I clearly just earlier today posted our character corner on Black Panther. Why? Because it's in the news right now. Motherfuckers talking about Black Panther. I want people to listen to our character corner. Marvel should be doing the same thing. Yeah, look, you don't have to go and promote Secret Empire with your movies because people are going to buy Secret Empire anyway. People buy. You don't. We're really honest. You don't need to promote events because people always buy events anyway. That's already getting sold. But some of these other things out here, you should be promoting Black Panther, America. Like all these other things out here, you should be promoting those with this stuff. You could be promoting the Miles Spider-Man book with the Spider-Man Homecoming. It's two different Spider-Mans, but you can still promote both of them at the same time. So absolutely, I think Marvel and DC, because DC didn't. I asked us about DC. I was like, hey, okay, fine. You had these new these Amazons, women of color Amazons in this film, and as a film, I understand why they didn't get more time. You know, it just there was no time for them. Did you guys do a prequel comic that tied into the movie? You could have done, because Marvel does it all the time. You could have done that, and that could have explained who these characters were. Could have given them more insight. That would have sold like, oh my goodness. It's like, did you do that? Oh, you didn't do that. Why didn't you do that? It's these kind of things that I think sometimes, and I think it's also got to look at it that the comic book side of Marvel and the comic book side of DC are different from the movie and TV side. Well, shit, I know the comic book side is different from the movie side, and the movie side is different from the TV side, and that's true for DC and Marvel right now. And at some point, there needs to be somebody there bridging the gap between it, and I don't think there is right now.
Well, Marvel's, I mean, Shield and the movies are better related than any of DC's stuff. They've been purposely keeping them separate, but at least I mean, they haven't been doing it like recently. But you can see, even if it's not specific, you can see, especially this last season of Shield has had aspects of Doctor Strange in it, or at least shows the same mechanics. Mm-hmm. Like the way the magic worked in Doctor Shield is the way the magic looks in Shield.
Yeah, and they came out and said that what Ghost Rider does at the end of this season of Agent of Shield is right. He's like that's definitely the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing as what Doctor Strange did in this movie, and so we have that there. And there's some there, but I'm talking about on a deeper level of really getting in there and saying, okay, we're going to promote this and do this and tie this here and do this here. And we're gonna have this comic book here and this there. Like I don't know. I mean, it's kind of there, but it's also not. And I don't know. I feel like it just should be. They're leaving a lot of money on the table by not.
That's the point they did that was when you had to go watch Captain America to know what happened in Shield.
Right. And I understand. Yeah.
All that stuff. If you didn't watch Captain America, it was just like everything's fine, everything's not fine.
Right. And I understand why that you can't, like, I understand why, especially Marvel, I understand why Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of moved away from that. I think the show has gotten better when they're not trying to force that tie-in there. And so I'm not even too worried about the tie-in between TV and movie at this point. Like, I think that you can have that separation. But when it comes to the comic book, like, I feel like the comic book should be the umbrella over all of them, right? You should be able to go and flow between. That should be the one medium that should be able to connect everything, even if you don't have a direct connection between the movie and the TV. It can be the comic book. You can do that. You can and you promote them. You promote it on both mediums. You get more people to buy into it and read them. Like I don't know. I just feel like there's so much more they can be doing. So I mean, and I think they're getting there. I just think it's one of the, we're watching an industry adjust to changes in technology and time. That's just what it is. I mean, we can. I think we have to make sure we're giving them credit and understanding that they're doing this in real time. They're having to adjust to something that a lot of industries don't do. So
yeah, but this has been happening for a while. I mean, when you look at newspapers have managed to stay afloat by increasing their online presence.
Barely.
Like everybody said newspapers were going to go away. They haven't. They're still around. They're not the go-to, but they're still around. They're still important. So they managed to get through that period of facing extinction, and they're still here. Print newspapers have shrunk, but they're still here.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to identify what's going to change and move with it. Marvel's been better in their movies, but the comic book division, whoever's heading it, they're just not doing their job. And the CEO of Marvel, I remember the CEO of Marvel used to be like really, no, not the CEO. Was he? If Marvel felt like when I was growing up, like in the 80s and 90s, Marvel felt like a lot more, not family oriented, but like open. Like the editorial staff, they seemed more like approachable and like they were really involved, and they didn't seem like they were always selling things. They seemed like they were fans too.
I don't know. I still get that. I still get
like
that.
They enjoyed you enjoying it, and they enjoyed it for what it was.
I still get that
Tom
from
DeFalco.
I still get that from a lot of. I still get that from a lot of Marvel people in there. Here's the thing. I think also Marvel gets a lot of shit just because they're also the ones to. They're the ones that respond the most. Because let's be honest, DC does a lot. Marvel gets the shit because they're the ones that are more likely to respond and adjust. Nobody brings these same things up to DC, and DC is sometimes doing like people can't name DC people of color led books over there at DC. You got Cyborg, you got Green Lanterns. Nobody really has anything else they can name because nobody gives DC shit for it. And the reason why Marvel gets shit for it is because their movies are so good. And so it's just one of those things. It's like it's difficult to be on top. And right now their sales are down. But I don't know. It's just one of the things that they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. But I think that they do listen, and I expect to see some changes from them for the better. Because again, Marvel always seems to adjust. We hit them with "You're not doing this right," and in a year, we're like, "Damn, they listen." When did this happen? Did they listen to us? They listened to us. What the fuck's going on? So. I think I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I think there's a lot of cool things out there. I think people need to, I honestly think a lot of people that complain just aren't even reading, and they're not trying to read. Which
That's what kills me.
And I'm okay with that, but I kind of don't want you to complain then, because if you're never gonna buy, then why are you complaining? But you need more of this, like that doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, we need more of this, we need to do this, we need to do that. Well, did you buy this? No. Well, did you buy this? No. Well, I don't buy Marvel. It's like, well, then why the fuck do you care what Marvel's doing? You know, like shit. I don't buy NASCAR tickets. I don't give a fuck what NASCAR does. I ain't going to NASCAR.
It's like, okay, Marvel, you're bringing this stuff to the forefront. You're making World of Wakanda, and you're not selling it. So do better at selling it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like. We apply, and you're right. When you try, you get criticism because DC doesn't try, so nobody gives them shit. Marvel is trying, and when you put yourself in that ring, you're gonna bring crap on your head. That's just how it is. But
hey, you know what though? That's how we got. That's how we got Black Panther though. And honestly, the reason why we got World of Wakanda and we got Black Panther and the crew and all these other things is because people did complain. So you know what? Well, it annoys me sometimes when I see people who complain but they won't buy. I'm like, the complaints do make things better. And honestly, because I still buy more Marvel than DC, I still like the books. I'll be honest. I'm loving a lot of the stuff I'm reading. So, So, hey, it is what it is, man. And I also love the fact that, and this is the last thing we'll move on because I got some other stuff to talk about with Black Panther. I love the people who don't read, who are new to comic books, and they experience that first time of their book that they love and are reading getting canceled. Like, I feel your pain, but I've been here since the 90s. Welcome to my life.
It's the same thing with people with TV shows now.
Yeah,
where it's like, what's that one that just got canceled? Underground, I think.
Yeah, it was Underground. Yeah.
Yeah, people are like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "Really, guys? Was this your first rodeo?" Like,
well, what killed me is like I saw that Oprah and O Network didn't take it up, and I was wondering if anybody was going to really get mad at Oprah and them, because Oprah's basically like, it's not worth the ratings it gets. And I know people were probably like, "Oh, that's angry. I'm mad at that," and I'm like, it is costing them $6.5 million an episode. I'm gonna be honest here, and I know. Listen, I know it's great. I know people will like that show. I wasn't personally watching it, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. At $6.5 million an episode, it was not worth it for the ratings it was getting. I'm sorry, but that is truth. Just from a business point of view, it was not worth it, and I'm not sure. I mean, that is a staggering amount of money per episode. And again, I never watched this show, but I wanted to ask you. It was like, where is that money going? Is it that high of a production value? Is there a way they can cut costs on it to maybe keep it there? Like, I don't know, man, but that is a lot of fucking money. And I looked at the ratings. I thought maybe the ratings were higher, and the ratings weren't that high. I mean, they were good for the network, but the ratings weren't really that great, and not for no $6.5 million an episode. So we cannot like it, but I understand it from a business point of view. That's a lot. That's a huge risk to take. That's a lot of fucking money per episode.
Yeah.
So, whew, yeah. So.
Yeah, and people don't understand that things aren't just going to exist because they should exist. They need to have a reason to exist. It's like black run shows and shows about black people aren't just going to exist because we deserve to have the shows. They need to make money.
Yep.
It's like, it was a good show. Lots of good shows get canceled.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is why I also tell people it's like,
Yeah.
some of the books and stuff they get, like Black Panther and the Crew. People are like, oh, it's an important book. I can't believe it. There's the one that was talking about the Atlantic, and I was like, and I'm not sure if they did it in that article, but I'm like, I'm seeing all these articles about what Marvel should do here and why they were wrong in this. And I'm like, I get all that, but I was like, at no point in any of those articles I see people saying, hey, pre-order the trade paperback and show Marvel you care. Because I'm like, if you pre-order that right now, and it does a surge in pre-orders, guess what, guys? Things can be uncanceled. And these are comic books. So you can go, they're comic books. So it's not, they canceled Black Panther and the Crew. Well, then you just do volume 2. Like, that's how comic books work. It's like, it's not over for a comic book. It's never over. It's just, we're ending it here. We're going to let it tell its first 6-issue story. But you can always come back and tell another 6 issues. Pre-order the comic. If something you love got canceled, and they're gonna let it finish its run at first, go back and make sure you pre-order. Let them know money talks. It does. It works. Pre-order that shit. Let people know you're getting it, and you can get it. You can get it back there. So anyway, so again, celebrating Black Panther in this really really black teaser, and I was waiting for this because no matter what happens when it comes to black people with some shit, and we're happy with it, there's always one group that's never happy and never satisfied with us being happy with blackness. And no, I'm not talking about white people this time. I'm talking about the next greatest thing to hate black people, Hoteps. So there was this dude, I can't remember what his Twitter name was on what his name is on Twitter, but he has a Facebook group, the official Jason Black group. And the banner is gentrified, ethnic cleansing, American style, www.blackchannelfilms.com. That is his Facebook group. And Sean, I'm gonna try to send you the link to this through Skype so you can see this, because it is this is some special stuff. And he was very upset at us black people for celebrating Black Panther, because he didn't like the imagery that he was seeing in Black Panther. He seems to think that it's beneath us, and that it's
what's that word they always like to use? Emasculating.
We definitely get some emasculation in there. There's definitely a weird. It's a lot of feminists in there, but I'm gonna read some of the quotes that he has on his little thread he has in here on the image. He has his image is one of the it's the image from the teaser where, and I don't know the actor's name, but he has the lip plate in, and he's wearing the green suit. He's decked out in this green suit, and he has this huge lip plate in, and he's surrounded by guards with spears, and he goes, for all you people who think supporting Disney is pro-black because they give you a black character, here's a scream clap from Black Panther teaser. Yes, seriously. And it's that image. And I'm like, okay, that looks dope. I mean, it's clearly, it's clearly taking in, influences from, some forms of, some region, some form of African culture and African nation, right? Okay. So let's read through some of these comments here. First one person goes, so true, you might need to do a broadcast about this. And trust me, if he does a broadcast about this, I'm going to find it and laugh my ass off. And then somebody says, yeah, I saw that, and it's precisely why I didn't comment. One, he has his legs crossed like a woman. Two, the plate in the lip thing is usually something females do. Fail. And somebody says, reply to that, insult to the tribes in African. Insult to the tribes in Africans. Not in Africa, in Africans. There's no man like that.
Like you do.
Says, yeah, that was a negative. I literally just watched it and told my wife I already pointed out some foolery in the trailer. Spears, plate lips, animal mass. What is this? Wild Kingdom? He also seems to only be fighting other Africans. Somebody says, you peeped that, right? Because apparently...
What's he supposed to be fighting?
Supposed to be fighting the white man. Duh. Fight the white man. Because you know what? 'Cause in true Hotep nature, we're the sun people. And the sun people, we don't fight with each other because we're from the sun. Yeah. Somebody says, as soon as I saw the opening scene was him beating up some black guys, I was like, here we go. The plate lip just sealed it.
But do they understand that this stuff is real and is a thing that happens?
No. Africans don't fight other Africans. Duh, come on. Any well-respecting Hotep, a believer of the sun and believing of, our African culture from Egypt will know that. So then he says, so this is what Disney is going to present to your kids as being equal to Iron Man and Guardians of the Galaxy in the year 2017. It's an image of the dude who plays M'Baku holding another man like by the back of his head, and he has a spear in his hand, and they're all like in like traditional garb. Yeah, he said this is what equal to Iron Man and Guardians of the Galaxy because they got spears and they're African spear chuckers, so obviously they must be low class. Right. They wouldn't play the BET version for the longest because he kicked white ass left and right, beheaded Nazis even. The BET version, I believe, was just the beginning of Hudlin's run. I don't remember him beheading Nazis, did he? Maybe they're okay. We're gonna go with that. All right. They might as well have come up with a sign that read "Savages here," because obviously, if you're African and you have any form of traditional garb and you have a spear, then obviously you must be a fucking savage because, of course. So
the whole point of the movie is that they think everybody else are savages because they're so far advanced.
Iron Man has bleeding edge technology. Ant-Man has nanotech. Guardians of the Galaxy has space age gear. But when we actually has a tape deck, I wouldn't call it a track, and a tape deck of fucking space age technology. But okay,
flown by a Zune.
Okay, sir. But we have a black hero all of a sudden. But when we have a black hero, all of a sudden it's about spears and witch doctors. He has an image of Forrest Whitaker. Which shout out to them for making me forget that Forrest Whitaker has a lazy eye. Because when I saw that as Forrest Whitaker, I was like, wait, that's Forrest Whitaker? Oh shit. Yeah. Now watch the buck dancer say, I'm being too serious. Even in a world with gods and aliens, the people can't fathom an advanced African society. Mind you, in the Civil War, you literally show that they're putting Winter Soldier into cryostasis because they have the technology, and his ship, what they show the ship twice in this teaser, is way more advanced than any Quinjet we've ever seen. All right, but again, remember, it's too much.
It's people just. First of all, Americans like that, and the worst part about us being American is that Americans don't know shit about things that aren't American. And that is regardless of color, race, or anything. You're not truly American unless you don't know anything about other countries. Mm-hmm. And that just shows these people like, they obviously know nothing about Africa. They had spears because they had spears.
Yeah.
Had them. It's a thing.
Yeah. A lip plate? Is that what female in certain African tribes do to appear desirable for the opposite sex? Shout out to a franchise who knows nothing about African culture. Meanwhile, while they're writing this, Ruth Carter is literally on Twitter shouting out all the different African tribes and cultures she pulled information from with images to show you that they're like side-by-side images to show where she got some of these designs from. But okay. Yeah,
these are the same people who never leave their hometown.
Yeah,
these are the same people who live within 10 miles of the place they were born their whole lives, and they want to tell you about Africa.
Yeah, they didn't do that on accident. They, quotes, know more about our history and know exactly what they're doing. I'm like, you do realize there's black people making this film, right? There's nothing but black people making this film. Black people wrote it, black people directed it, black people designed it, black people were shooting it. I think Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman might be the only two white people involved in this fucking movie. All right? Okay.
Yeah. And you did a movie well where you could have a bunch of black guys dressed up like gorillas and nobody notices.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Nobody even mentioned that part. And I'm like, wow, these guys did. Because what's his enemy's name? Like White Gorilla or something like that?
Man-Ape. There's Man-Ape and then there's Eric Killmonger.
Man-Ape. That's it. Man-Ape.
Yeah.
Which,
by the way, shout out for them not, going full Man-Ape, because that, they did that kind of tactfully. Because again, knowing imagery and I think at some point you probably will see a little bit of that to tie into the comics. But they're being very respectful with that and making sure they don't go too far and might be taken out of context there, So,
yeah, because then that would be the first thing these people would have on their web pages.
Right.
Like,
look, of course the black guy is is an ape. I'm like, yeah, but that's technically, but there's a reason for that. It's, oh, fuck it. Okay, whatever. Like, there's certain things I want them to do, but I also know that if they do them, it's going to be a fucking problem. Because it's not problematic, but on the internet it is, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Somebody goes, have we forgotten that this is the same corporation that had a doc about a white man having a colonized place for his daughter in Africa? Actually, this is what we called about. This is when we started the whole new Wakanda thing. Remember that white dude who got praised all the internet? He actually got roasted over the internet for this shit. This is why I state that the white man have control of the history and dialogue about Africa all the time, and they'll always place it under them for control and justify that white folks are better. Of course, they're not going to consult black people or true historians because real history has proven time and again that white people are the biggest patriots. But literally, these people know nothing about the creation of this film because it literally is doing the opposite of what they're saying. Even a lot of the actors in this film are actually African, so I can guarantee you that a lot of them were consulted on certain things. Like I believe that the dialect and the accent that Bozeman uses, he's the one that came up with that. Like, it's not white people coming up with this shit. It's the actual actors in the film that have this input in them. And if you watch any of the social media stuff from these people, they are all like one big family. They have been so into this, and it's been such a celebration of their culture. They've been all in this. So it's so funny to see people on the internet who know nothing of what they're talking about getting mad. Oh my God. Here's another great one. In the comics, that psycho deviant Ta-Nehisi Coates turned Black Panther female bodyguards lesbian. Disney said they won't be in the film. Makes me wonder if they're now replacing the female lesbians with some other homosexual agenda. They didn't do this in any of their other films, but they'll probably wait to get to Africa for this. I don't understand.
I thought those characters were in there. I thought that was the two girls who were fighting back to back.
No, because one of them, I think they're different. They're not the same girls. They're different there because I think one of them might be AO from the comic, but I can't remember the other one's name. And that's not her there. And
those are the only ones I know, so that's why I thought it was
right. And so Marvel said that they don't think they're doing that right now, but I think it's because the characters aren't the same. They're not. Both the characters aren't the same right now. But here's the thing: like he says, a psycho deviant turned Black Panther's female guardian lesbian. Which no, okay, whatever. That's what we're gonna go with. All right, you mean to tell me that you have this is like going to see Wonder Woman and then being so shocked and surprised that maybe a couple of those women actually have loving relationships with each other. It's like literally, what did you expect? I mean, you're not like. At some point, people are born gay, and then somebody else is born gay, and then they have an attraction for each other, and life happens. Like, what did you expect? But forgetting all that, all right. I'm wondering if this guy was still okay with Black Panther's female bodyguards when Priest did them, when Christopher Priest did them, and the Dora Milaje were 16-year-old over sexualized girls who were literally the brides to be of T'Challa. He never had sex with them, but that was the yeah. So we're okay with that, though. We're okay with that. But the homosexual agenda, we're okay with over sexualizing 16-year-old girls, but homosexual agenda. So now watch the immature and pubescent and underdeveloped internet fanboys jump on here trying to coon-splain and defend this mess and try to say there's a probably good explanation for this. There is. It's called reality. It's called what African nations and culture actually looks like. And if you ask somebody who has some relation to some of these nations and tribes and this is their history, they'll tell you that they're literally crying tears of joy because they see themselves represented. Yeah. Thor's a Norse deity, for goodness sake. Yet you don't see naked Europeans running in any of his films. Mind you, there's nobody naked in Black Panther, but okay. But they do in the comics, however. They're trying to be culturally in-depth about that in his movies. But you have an African hero, and all of a sudden, it's Shaka Zulu in the year 2017, when they have literally done that for no other male characters. You're going to find out which of your relatives and friends are closet coons on this little litmus test.
Really?
This is great. If you watch the trailer, you'll see.
Shit,
what did you say?
Some people just can't enjoy shit.
Oh, not at all, man. If you watch the trailer, you'll see they're mixing it up. They got spaceships, and it's not. First of all, motherfucker, it's not a spaceship. Why does everybody keep calling it a goddamn spaceship? It's just a regular plane. Like. It doesn't go in, like, it's only a spaceship if it goes into space, you cooning ass, Hotep, dumbass motherfucker. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's not a goddamn spaceship. It's a spaceship. What the fuck? It's like seeing our fucking robo going, it's a submarine. It's not a goddamn submarine. What the fuck are you talking about? It's not in space. It's not in space. What are we doing?
First of all, the fact that you are snapping over him calling a spaceship is way nerdier than anything I've done.
I'm sorry. I draw the fucking line, man. I gotta draw the line somewhere. I draw the line because this is the second motherfucker that's called it a goddamn spaceship. It's not a spaceship. There's no space. At no point do you see any form of space in that goddamn trailer. Over go, oh, a spaceship. What are you, 2? That's something a toddler says. Motherfucking toddlers go, oh, look, it's a train. No, honey, it's a car. That's not a, oh, a train. It's a car.
Motherfucker, context clues.
My goodness gracious. Motherfucker sees a plane, a jet take off near a waterfall and goes, it's a spaceship. Motherfucker, you, oh my God, idiot. They've got spaceships, and they're running around with spears. But for a movie, I thought you were supposed to change things so they would be more acceptable to a wide audience. That's why they made Spider-Man's web shooters organic, which we fucking hated and was stupid, and had the Transformers not be able to mass shift. But for us, it's spears and plate lips. Come on, folks. All right, so first of all, early on, and even on Twitter, this dude, I wish I had his Twitter name. I don't know what it is, and I don't feel like going through and finding it. But on Twitter, he was getting on everybody going, oh yeah, you guys, grown-ass men reading comic books and grown-ass people listening to comic books and cooning over comic books. You guys are pathetic. But motherfucker, you're just over here talking about Transformers mass shifting. Nigga, what? How you nerd checking everybody else and calling us coons and grown-ass men talking about comic books? You over here talking about Transformers mass shifting. No, you can't have it both ways. You don't get to complain about nerd shit and people being nerdy, and then you over here quietly nerding too. This motherfucker gonna be right there in the theater buying a fucking Black Panther ticket, watching it, and then coming out to be mad, yo.
Yeah, well, paid. As long as he pays. We don't need these people to be happy. We just need the money.
The Wakandans fought a war against the Skrull Empire in the comic book using advanced technology in their vibranium reserve, not witch doctors and magic. Well, actually, in order to defeat Doom, they actually did use magic because that's what they had to use to stop Doom and his magic. So, and that's actually what they had to do. So, just
also, it's a goddamn comic book. We can use magic.
Mm-hmm. This is
We
the
can
jungle.
do that.
Yeah, we can do Black Ass Magic. This is the Jungle Book and Song of the South African edition, and the white comedians at Disney are laughing at us, trying to cheer us for this mockery. You know, this is a funny thing about this. It's just fucking hilarious. Oh, and then later on, they got this. So they find out that the writer for the film is black. So they had to change it up, right? So they get to the fact that he has a white wife. So the writer of the film is what is it? I can't remember the guy's name. But he has a white wife apparently. And so they get mad at that, and then so the thing then becomes, so you guys got mad at Nate Parker for having a white wife, but this guy has a white wife, and you guys are cheering his product. It's like, well, first I know he's not a rapist. It's a small, insipid, tiny little detail there. I don't think he raped a woman and got away with it. So there's that. Some brave soul tried to come in here and try to correct them. Got called a coon and got deleted and blocked. Let's see.
Some light in the darkness tried to come and restore order.
Oh, found his Twitter name because he copied and pasted something. His Twitter name is @TheBlackChannel.
Of course it is.
Yeah, you know. So
of course it is.
Of course it is.
At a certain point, it's like you wonder who would make these people happy. You know, like. And it's funny because if you think about what they're asking for, they basically wanted all the white people stuff but black people, which isn't just having like original black people stuff better than just wanting all the white people stuff but with black people. They wanted him to have a Black Panther tower right across the street from Avengers Tower. He wanted to have a Black Panther suit, which is basically his version of an Iron Man suit, but he's way more in fit and in shape. Like all the stuff they're asking for, Black Panther has, but better.
Like they ignore the fact that in the trailer he's literally getting shot at and doesn't flinch. Right? He has this vibranium suit, and like all and literally in the trailer, like the beginning of the film, like Claw is telling Ross, he's telling him it's all the front. They pretend to be a poor third world nation to hide the fact that they're literally the most technologically advanced culture on the fucking planet. Like that is the whole thing of the movie. But again, and this is where seeing the appropriation of African culture by African Americans. I guarantee you, this motherfucker there's nothing African about this motherfucker. He's American. He's a black American like my ass, right? And he knows nothing. But these Hotep motherfuckers and their love of Egyptian and everything like that, and thinking that that's what African culture is and means, and wanting to be these ideas of what their history is. They keep showing them they have no idea what anything's going on. He goes, it's disgusting that these walking dirtbags are more upset about a comic book than they are about the police killing people who look like them. That's false. No, nobody is. No, you're the one that's actually here's the thing. He's saying this. He's literally the one that made the thread complaining about a comic book movie. And it's complaining about like you're the one that's mad. Nobody else, none of us are mad about this.
We're actually okay with it. We're excited. You're trying to bring our joy down. Buzz Killington. It's and it's like, you know what? And I was thinking about like what kind of, because you know like all the Wonder Woman, like you know all the people mad about the women only thing, and I was telling my friend like Black Panther's going to get all the racists out, but I'm wondering if there's going to be more racists online or more Hoteps online. Like who's going to be the bigger hater voice for Black Panther? Like and it's oh God, and it's so stupid because it's such a good like just shut up and enjoy the goddamn movie. It's good. It's so original. Like it's literally something that's never been done before, and you're getting to see it. And it's good. Just good.
Well, what is it? Again, this is just something different. Like, it keeps going on. Like, he starts becoming more and more intense. People wearing the underoos trying to comic book bang on the internet. These clowns haven't said a word before now about important things, but suddenly they pop up on a post about comic books that is of critical significance to them. Well, because one, a lot of people have said something before, but this idiot is just so far removed from what it actually, what Black Panther actually is. He has no idea. But I know a lot of people will go, well, why do you care? Why does it matter? One, it's good comedy because I had a load of fun this morning, and even now doing this, going over some of the stuff this motherfucker was saying. But I also think it's important to call things like this out because it's very, very clear that this guy who outside of this post, and you look at the rest of his page. Let me see his page. His page has 6,000 members. All right, 6,000 people follow this page, and engage on this page and in this group. Talking about this stuff. And this guy presents himself as, an educator and trying to educate other black people, but he's getting basic things wrong. It is very, very important. We cannot allow that stuff to slide.
The fester. Yeah.
Because that's why you get Donald Trump. You can't let, like, Bill Burr has a great joke where he talks about how, stopping the next Hitler. He's like, it's on all of us. We just need to carry a little chloroform rag in our pocket, and every time we see somebody going off like that, we just need to go behind them, snuff them out. He's like, if you don't do it, they sit there and they do it. He was like, it was like a Target or a Walmart. It got to be a Walmart because the story was like, felt very Walmartish. It was like, this dude was just going off on racism of like, Mexicans this and Mexicans that, and he was like, nobody did anything. And then finally somebody came up and was like, hey man, you're right. And he was like, shit, now there's two of them, and that's why you got to do something. That's why you got to stop it. Because if you don't stop it, you get a group of 6,000 people who believe this shit, and eventually it becomes 12,000. Then it becomes 24,000. Then it becomes a movement, and then you're literally battling against people who are literally believing and festering over shit that's not correct. Following an idiot. Like, this guy's an idiot. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's getting basic things wrong about the film, and then when when he was told that he was wrong, because again he jumped out there on this is just white America making this film. I guarantee you, from what I'm looking at, they've given Ryan Coogler and that entire team wide berth on this. Because look, we've seen 3 other trailers for movies this year for Marvel. All of them have funny moments. Look at that teaser trailer for Black Panther.
Serious.
It's very. It had more a feel of Winter Soldier and the last few Captain America movies.
That's what I was thinking. It definitely felt more like a Captain America movie than a Guardians movie.
Right. So just
it's even interesting how they move Thor towards that. Well, I guess because he's in space, so they get to make it a little goofier. Yeah. But they definitely moved Thor in, like, because they tried to, Kenneth Branagh serious thing, and it was like it was okay. But now they're like, we really need to, take the chains off of Thor here. Yeah, take him to the cosmic. So it's like, it definitely seems like, and from what we're seeing from just the cast and how they interact with each other and what they've gone on, that they have full control over this movie. This movie is in black hands, making this film. And to have somebody get mad and go on this is the white man telling you about your history. It's like, no, you're the one that's fucked up here. You somehow think that, like, he was going on, you don't see them doing this in Thor. It's like, yes, Thor has hammers. They have swords in Thor. What are you talking? They have spears in Thor. Like, Thor literally has all this stuff. The Amazons in Wonder Woman, they had spears and bows and arrows and took on guns with that. It's like, what are you talking about? How are you upset about spears in Black Panther? Like, I have no idea. And here's the thing. I feel like if they didn't do this, dude would then be flipping on the other side and be complaining about how they westernized and took away all the recognizable African culture of Black Panther. It's just like, it's one of those things like we got to stand up against people like this. These people are idiots. They're idiots and they cannot be allowed to stand. And you got to fight back against them. You got to.
Got to.
And because we can't, and that you're right. That's how we got Trump, because it's like we kept assuming like, oh, these are the fringe. You know, they don't do anything. They're just out there making noise. But there's way more of them, and they do things, and they do get involved. And because for some reason, idiots always have energy.
Mm-hmm.
Idiots are always up for things. They never get tired. They never get stressed out. That like when people like, oh, I don't have the energy. You know, I'm so burnt out from all the, you know, the Trump stuff and the negativity. You know what? Those people never get burned out.
Mm-hmm.
They've been, for 8 years, they've been constantly railing against Obama and people of color, and they never get tired. Stupid never gets tired, and they just come around. They're motivated by ignorance. They're powered by it. It informs everything they do, and it fuels them. Yeah. They're like stupid powered robots. So we can't get tired either.
Yeah.
Everything matters and everything doesn't matter.
Yeah, got to fight back against it. You got to. You just got to, and you can't let this such slide. And I'm glad that the dude got roasted. I am, because you need to do that. We need to roast more stupid people. I'm 100% roasting stupid people. I just am. I just am, because you just need to, because you can't let this shit slide. So, damn, we almost did 2 hours on this. Let's get into some other stories here, because damn. All right, well, we're having a good show so far. It's been fun. Let's keep with some of the more let's keep with the jokes then. We'll be having sex with robots in 10 years. Future expert predicts a boom in Android lovers.
Well, it's about time. Every time I see that, I think of Archer and the cyborg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
cyborg ex-wife, and it'd be like, oh yeah, and it vibrates.
Yeah, just this is where I'm like, look, listen, we need to put less research into this and more research into Bearcats. I'm just saying, because I don't mind dying at the hands of a wild animal. I am going to be so pissed if I die at the hands of a sex bot.
Yeah,
I do not want to go out with that. I do not want to go out of that way. And here's the other thing too that I have a problem with sex bots with. It's very, very sexist. Because anytime you talk about sex bots, what does everybody think of, right? You think about women's sex bots, right? You know, we're gonna be having sex. Even this article, all the images of sex bots are literally just they're women. They're female sex bots. You know what's gonna change this? You start making male sex bots with like 12-inch dicks. Let's start doing that. Like, I want to see how much we keep going down this path once somebody literally comes out with Bob, the sex robot, with a 12-inch dick that makes every man irrelevant and pointless at this point. Like, that's
then
like
we'll
that. Huh? What'd you say?
Remember in the Matrix? The way they started the Matrix was that they built the robots, and the robots lived with humanity. And then they killed the robot, and the robot killed a person. Now they wanted to get rid of all the robots, and the robots were like, "Hey, we'll just live in peace." And people were like, "No, you got to go." And then they killed all the humans. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, like this is a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Like, just. No, guys, stop. No, no, I'm not. I am fine with the world ending any other way, but I am not having the world end at the hands of murderous sex bots because men decided that they wanted to have women that didn't talk and they want to have sex slaves. That's really what this is. You are literally creating robot sex slaves. I am not here for this. I am totally against this. This is a really, really bad idea. We should stop right now. This is just, oh my God. I'm going to have to start adding a segment onto the show where we keep an eye on the robot death clock, the robot sex bot death clock, because this is just getting bad. Just a couple weeks ago, it was they were putting AI into them. They were putting AI into a fucking sex bot. Like, what? It's so stupid. Again, all it's going to take is for them to make one male robot sex bot. and this whole thing shuts down. It's just like how when they came out with the male birth control, and it had half of the birth control, the side effects that female birth control did, and men couldn't cut it, and we're like, oh no, we're done, we're out of that. No, we gotta start using our sexism. Women gotta start using our sexism against us. Some female backed and led robotic company out there needs to create a male robot sex bot. And this whole thing will shut down.
That'll shut all that shit down.
It'll shut it down. Everybody will destroy everything they have. We'll move on. That's how we avoid the robot apocalypse, people. I hate to put it on women, but you guys got to do this for the culture. you got to create one, and then men will immediately, using our sexism against us, men will immediately fight to shut this shit down. Because honestly, it just hit me. Literally everything that involves sex bots, sex dolls, they're all women. They're all women models. There are literally almost no male models of this. The minute you start creating a male model, this is all over and done with. Shut it down. Shut it down. We're not doing that. Like even gay men ain't gonna be having that shit. What? No. Can't do that. No.
Like in Ghostbusters, or Walter Peck came down and saw the containment unit. He's like, shut it down. Shut all of this down.
right. No, we're done. No, burn it all. Burn all the copies, all the models. It's done with. Get it out of here. We're not dealing with this. Shut it. I'm sorry. We made a mistake. I'm sorry. It's our fault. Forget we did this.
You know what's worse than a Terminator? A Terminator who knows he can steal your girl.
Right. Oh my God.
Like
come with me if you want to orgasm.
Got a lot of self-esteem. Yeah. Like, I will terminate you and steal your girl.
Oh
my God. Kill me, and then he's gonna fuck my wife.
Right. Well, that's the worst thing. He wouldn't even kill you. It wouldn't even kill you. Like, can you imagine that? Like, your wife is sitting there going, "Hey, honey, I want to spice things up. I'm thinking about a threesome." It's like, you get all excited. It's like, "Oh, yeah, let's do it." It's like, I already have somebody in mind. Bob, would you come in here? Yes, ma'am. What would you like me to do? This is Bob, our sex bot. So, hey, honey, look, I don't think I'm really comfortable with this. No, honey, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be, dude, listen. And you know the weird thing about it too? Then there's also gonna be that weird porn too, where you're gonna have guys watching their wives being fucked by a sex bot. Like, this is just, oh my God, like this is all going downhill. Like, I am not comfortable.
Likely.
I am not comfortable with any of this shit. I think we need to get ahead of this and nip this shit in the bud right now. It is getting way out of hand. Way out of hand. We need to stop. Just shut it down. Shut it all down.
It's too late. It's already happened. It's the darkest timeline.
Right. Speaking of shutting down, and this is a terrible fucking idea. Actually, I think I might even be able to play this article on this one. U.S. companies to start trials reawakening the dead in Latin America in a few months.
Oh yeah, well that's where it started in. It started in Asia, but yeah, it's a good place to start it.
No, it's not. Latin America. Where do you think they're gonna come? They're gonna come up here. Because you know what? Donald Trump's not building that fucking wall, and Mexico is not paying for that fucking wall. So it's coming up here. Let's see what they're talking about. Let's see if this will play.
No, it's the best way to spread it the fastest. Like, you don't understand. I'm all for the apocalypse. It's so any way that brings it about faster is like, this is, you know, when you watch a zombie movie and there's just kind of stuff happening while they're rolling the credits that you don't really pay attention to. This is one of the things that happens in the opening credits.
we can rebuild. We can make these bodies. I'm trying to see the article.
And then there's a cutscene. There's a cutscene to everything on fire.
Oh my God. The first attempts to bring people back from okay, it's almost gonna start in a minute. The first attempts to bring people back from the dead are slated to start this year. A BioQuark, I already don't like the name of this company. A Philadelphia-based company. So of course they're based here in the United States, but we go to a brown country. You go to Latin America to actually do this. Ivor Pastor So BioQuark, a Philadelphia-based company, announced in late 2016 that they believe brain death is not irreversible. Now, CEO Ira Pastor has revealed that they will soon be testing an unprecedented stem cell method on patients in an unidentified country in Latin America, confirming in the details in the next few months. So basically what they're saying is, we're not going to tell you what country in Latin America we're bringing back the dead in, we're making zombies in. You just got to kind of be surprised, which also sounds like a really, 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 really terrible fucking idea. All right. To be declared officially dead in the majority of countries, you have to experience complete irreversible loss of brain function or brain death. According to Pastor, BioQuark has developed a series of injections that can reboot the brain, and they plan to try it out on humans this year. This is literally the plot of Return of the Living Dead. All right. This is not good. This is stupid. What the fuck are you thinking, dude? Let's see if I can play this article. Let's see. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Imagine for a
It's good times.
Right. Come on, play.
moment that your body came.
I mean, here's the thing.
Oh, it's not going to play. Fuck it. All right.
Sorry, I'm trying to eat. Here's the thing. We all got to die somehow. And it's good to know that when you die, you can come back and terrorize the living.
I will haunt you even in my death brings on a new meaning now. You can literally do it. Like, what? Oh my God. What if you oh my God, you can turn into a charge. You charge. Oh my God. You could charge people like, hey, do you want to get your revenge even if you die? You pay this money up front and we will bring you back from the dead to haunt your enemies. It's a business fucking idea.
You just have them drop you off somewhere.
You just pay us $999 a month, and we will make sure that we will drop you off once you're dead and bring you back to life.
Yeah, we'll put you in your ex's trunk.
Oh my God, this is just such a bad idea. Oh, even worse. They have no plans to test on animals first. So we're gonna go straight. We're gonna go straight to human trials, guys.
Yeah, no, skip all the animals. Who needs Pet Cemetery? You know, they stopped Pet Cemetery. You got to start the real thing. Got to start right at the top.
Oh my God!
Because I mean, you know, like this is what they say, but you know, in reality, they're probably going to like some Aztec, like sacrifice pyramid, summoning some demon to reanimate the dead, and then saying it's science.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is such a bad idea.
Or they inject the bodies and then they fill them, they reanimate them with some kind of Aztec jungle god, and I mean it's interesting. It's a good way to go.
A good way to go.
I mean, hell, I'd sign up for it if you could do it. Like, can I skip the death and go straight to the reanimation? Why not?
Oh my God, this is just so. It really is like the Reanimator, though. Oh my God, this is just. It's like between this and the sex robots, it's one of those things that. Do you even sci-fi, bro? Like, do you even? Because like, motherfucker, if you watch a sci-fi TV show or a sci-fi movie, they tell you how much of a badass idea this is. Not badass. Bad, just flat out bad. Not bad as in good, bad as in really, really fucking bad. Bad as in tragic, bad as in it will end the fucking world. Like, both of these ideas are literally plots of ending the world and bringing on the apocalypse. What are you doing? Like, who like, was that you in high school most likely to bring about the apocalypse? Is that your superlative? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fucking people.
You know why? It's been literally the plot of every, oh God, what's his name? The guy who wrote Jurassic Park.
Oh, Michael. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Not Michael Crichton?
Yeah, Michael Crichton. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of his stories in some way are about science running amok.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how science. It's like, I think they even said in the first one, we spend so much time trying to figure out if we can do things, we don't stop and think about why we should do things.
Yeah. No, just don't do it. And we've been told you shouldn't do this. So, such a stupid ass idea. All right, I'm going to avoid all the Trump news this week because we've been having way too much fun. We're going to jump right into the last two topics we got here. And the first one is a follow-up from last week. Bill Maher.
Ice Cube. He's an actor, producer, and iconic rapper who's historic.
Well, I mean, Bill Maher gonna Bill Maher.
Yeah.
Death Certificate is now re-released in the 25th
There's
anniversary edition with three.
There's so little to actually get angry about anymore because it's all. So you see it coming, It's like if we wrote this, people were like, "Oh, this again." Like, yeah, this again. It's what he does. I used to like him, and I'm like, I don't know what this guy's deal is. Like, I honestly have no idea what his deal is. I don't know whose side he's on, what he's doing, what he's supposed to be doing, who his fans are. I don't know, but he's doing it right, and I aspire to that.
I wouldn't say he's doing it right. I mean, he's just being an asshole.
I want to be able to be popular without actually having to take a stand on anything.
I mean, he takes a stand. He's just a racist. I mean, I'll just be perfectly honest. I mean, that's what Bill Maher
I can
is.
do that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's that. Well, here's the thing. So the problem.
I don't like white people. I can do that.
But here's the problem. You're black. So you can't really pull off. So anyway, here's a clip of. Let me know if you can hear this. This is a clip of him on with Ice Cube on Bill Maher.
Three new songs. Ice Cube.
Can you hear that? Did you hear that?
Wait, what?
Did you hear that? Are you not able to hear the video?
No, I didn't hear it.
Oh shit! Hold on. You still don't hear anything? Oh damn it! I don't know why. Why are you not able to hear the clip? Oh shit! Sucks. All right. Well, I'm gonna try to fast forward a little bit so I can get to the part where he's talking. I'll just tell you what he's saying.
Okay. So I know you're here to promote an album. I know you also want to talk about my transgression. What do you want to do first?
So first problem I have with the video is this. Bill Maher brings on, Bill Maher's racist. Let's just get it out of the way. And Bill Maher did that thing that white racist people do all the time when they want to come and say they're not racist, or bringing on a bunch of black people to either say that they're not racist, or to chastise them so they can go, see, I apologize, I was wrong, and I had black people tell me I was wrong. Now we can move on. That's basically what he did. All right, and I don't fall for that shit. That's why I don't watch the show. I think because here's the thing too. Bill Maher has been a racist and offensive beyond just what he said last week. Like that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, but it honestly wasn't the most offensive thing he's done. And with the offensive things he's done has gone beyond just black people. So I'll give it to Ice Cube for saying on and putting Maher in his place. And I know you can't hear it, John, but I'm gonna play the rest of the clip here.
I knew you was gonna fuck up sooner or later. I did. I love your show. You got a great show.
Thank you.
But you be bucking up against that line a little bit. You got a lot of black jokes. You know what I'm saying? You do.
Well, against racists.
So he says that he has a lot of black jokes, and and Bill Maher says, well, no, against racism. I'm like, no, motherfucker, you literally did last month or so. You did your new rules where you basically said that black people are getting upset, and because their liberals are getting upset. And because white people enforcing white liberals to apologize for things they shouldn't have apologized for, like, I don't know, little things like cultural appropriation, things like that, just little things like that you said that, liberals, meaning black people, are, two senses about, but, Bill Maher says he's not racist. Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes you sound like a redneck trucker.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Now that
yes,
I gotta.
you do.
No,
I don't.
That I
get
gotta
it.
push back.
I don't
All
get
right,
it.
it's my opinion.
Okay, it is.
My thing is.
I mean, whenever they call us liberals, no black person identifies as a liberal.
Some do. I won't say no, but some do. But the problem I have is they either identify all of us as liberal, or they completely and I think this is what Bill Maher was doing when he did that. He was completely skipping over black people like we don't exist, and pinning the people that were complaining about things like blackface and cultural appropriation of that as white liberals, completely erasing the fact that most of the people that were complaining about this stuff were black people. Whether they were liberal, whether they were, some might be conservative, some might be moderate, black people found this stuff offensive and built to Bill Maher, we don't exist. Because, like you said, he's down with the black people. He thinks he is anyway. So, here we go. I'm playing the clip again, so hold on.
Before, but
My thing is this, and I'm cool with you. I like
I
your
get,
show.
I get what
to
you're
be honest. I just want to know 2 questions.
But I mean, like when
Hey,
people
hold on real quick, John. Come on, I'm gonna play a little bit more of the clip, and then we'll get back into it. All right?
Okay.
You can't, for some reason, you can't hear. I don't know why. So hold on.
That it was cool to say that.
I just...
That's one question.
I just explained, there was no thought put into it. Obviously, I was telling Dr. Dyson, comedians, they react. And it was wrong, and I apologized. And, more than that, I can't do.
I accept your apology, but I still...
So, first thing, Bill Maher gets, just explaining to you what happened here. He gets into the whole thing about how, he tries to apologize and there's nothing more I can do now if you guys are still upset and Ice Cube first, and he does something that I would never do. He says, I accept your apology. And of course Bill Maher's white liberal audience claps at that because that's really all they're there for, is to get a black person to say that Ice Cube forgave Bill Maher, so see, he can't be racist. That's why his white liberal, fan base is there for. Before I play any more, you were gonna say something?
Oh no, I was thinking of like, yeah, like black people can self-identify as liberals, but I feel like when white people complain about liberals, I don't ever feel a part of that. Because it's weird when like I'll talk about police brutality or something at work and one of my coworkers say, oh, like I don't really pay attention to politics. It's like, this isn't about politics. This is about me not wanting to be shot. There's nothing political about that. It's weird when people want to, white people, because when they be like, oh, I don't think about that stuff, I don't talk about that stuff, it's because they just don't want to, they want to talk about like, oh, I don't watch the news, those kind of people. It's really like, oh, I don't want to know about other people's hardships. Like, so that's why they use euphemisms like liberals and, because I feel like white people, they're just talking about other white people who they don't like.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
They completely erase us. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Like, they just, like white people they trade in euphemisms to not say what they really want to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's right. So you have to like hack through this jungle of other words, and because it's like they need permission and hiding to, if they would just come out and be themselves, which is, they'd be happier. And if they were happier, maybe they wouldn't be so goddamn racist.
Yeah, you're right on that one. All right, hold on. I'm about to play the clip some more.
I think we need to get to the root of the psyche, because I think it's a lot of guys out there who cross the line because they a little too familiar, or they think they too familiar, or it's guys that, might have a black girlfriend or two that make some Kool-Aid every now and then, and they think they can cross the line, and they can't. It's a word that has been used against us. It's like a knife, man, and you can use it as a weapon or you can use it as a tool. It's been used as a weapon against us by white people, and we're not going to let that happen again by nobody, because it's not cool. Now, I know you heard it's in the lexicon, everybody talking, but that's our word now. That's our word now, and you can't have it back. I know they trying to get it back. It's and I'm not talking about you, Bill. I'm not talking about you, Bill.
Okay.
But I'm talking about guys who cross the line every day because they got some black homies, they got some friends, they think it's cool, and it's not cool, because when I hear my homies say it, it don't feel like venom. When I hear a white person say it, it feel like that knife stabbing me, even if they don't mean it. So, you know, I like your show, and it's a great show. And I just don't know sometimes, is this a political show or is it a show about jokes? And sometimes the jokes, I understand the format, and, you know, you got to say it's a comedian show, but this, to me, is a political show. And I think you just have to not step on some of the political messages that you're saying with a joke.
What are you killing?
Things just ain't fun.
I'm sorry. That the next door, they're putting up a roof. So because you can't hear, I'm not gonna play any more of this. Well, you can find and listen to it. And I hear Ice Cube, and I know a lot of people have given Ice Cube credit for this and stuff like that. Here's the thing. I mean, what he's saying is nice. I just wish he didn't waste it on Bill Maher, because we're sitting here in a lot of the stuff that Bill Maher being problematic on what he said with dropping that, you know, the N-word and saying I'm just a house nigga, right? Yeah. Honestly, that's just another example of Bill Maher being out of touch and being racist and not giving a shit. When I hear people like Michael Eric Dyson try to say that Bill Maher's not racist, or Kevin Hart, well, he shouldn't have said it, but he's not racist, I really want to know, what is racism to you? Because Bill Maher is definitely racist. Like, ask anybody. And look at his attacks on Muslims and Islam. It's like, come on. Look at how he talks about us. Like, and I think, you know, again, the message of Ice Cube in this is really well. My problem is that he tries to distance Bill Maher from it. Because at one point he says, it's like, you know, there's a lot of people here who get a little too familiar because, you know, they've slept with black women, or they slept with black people, or they think their homies are black and they can do that. I'm like, you're describing Bill Maher. You're going to say that it's not him? But that is him. That is exactly him. You know? Because he slept with black women, Bill Maher thinks he gets a pass. Because he slept with black women, he's the one that thought that, you know, he could be the one that challenged Obama's blackness because he was making somebody be more gangster. No, Bill Maher can't say that. He's not down. He's not into it. And I'm sickened that all these other black people went on the show. Whether you're on there to confront Bill Maher or not, you got to stop going on to a guy like Bill Maher in the name of comedy. Because, again, it sucks that you couldn't hear this, but he brought Ice Cube brought up another point where he says about Bill Maher. She was like, I'm not sure if this is a political show or a comedy show. And Bill Maher goes, oh, it's a little bit of both. He's like, yeah, but it's more of a political show. And what happens is, because Bill Maher, honestly, is not as insightful or as in-depth on politics or I'm going to be honest, as smart as Bill Maher thinks he is. Yeah. When smart people, few people are right, smart people make an important point, and Bill Maher comes in with a joke because that's the only thing Bill Maher can do. Unlike other comedians who have turned into political commentary, like, you know, even with his, you know, I don't think all Trump voters are racist. You know, Jon Stewart, or, you know, Stephen Colbert, Trevor Noah. Even with them, Al Franken, who literally became a politician, and to be honest, a good politician. Unlike all of them, Bill Maher has been the same Bill Maher since the 2000s, maybe even the 90s. He has not changed. He has not grown. He does not have any political insight into him at all. I have never seen a Bill Maher clip where Bill Maher actually gives an insightful political commentary that it wasn't given by somebody else. He literally just takes from everybody else and repeats what they say, maybe adds a joke in it in some time. Like, no, that's what Bill Maher is. He is literally a midget among giants on his show. He is never the smartest person. He's sometimes not even the smartest person on the panel. He's just a mediocre white guy who is there, who thinks he's down with black people and thinks he gets a pass. That's all he is. If anything else, Bill Maher exists because he gives a voice to all the mediocre white people who watch him and sit in his audience. That is it. You see Bill Maher, you go, I can be Bill Maher one day, because you probably can, because he ain't that fucking talented.
No. I mean, if you don't do anything outside it, like, I forgot, he did do a stand-up special like a few years ago. Yeah, but it's like clamoring for Bill Maher's stand-up anymore. Nobody's like, yeah, you know who I wish would do stand-up again?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I'm way excited for Ellen, and Ellen doesn't have anything important to say about anything. But I'm really excited for Ellen. I am not excited to hear Bill Maher do anything. I've never yeah, you're right. He's just there. He is just there. And I guess he fills a space that people need. I guess. Who knows? I really can't explain his popularity.
Yeah. Well, I know what it is. It's just
seriously.
It honestly is white liberals. White liberals who think they aren't racist. It's racist white liberals who think they're liberal. And we really need to take that word back, because these are people who they still say the same thing that Milo and them say. And Richard Spencer, the whole we've gotten too PC and social justice warriors are taking things over and they're ruining our lives. They're the liberals. They're the old school liberals. The liberals that They want things on the left leaning, but they want things to still say the same with black people. They still want to be on top. They don't want really equality. They just don't want to. They want to be in a better position themselves, but only for them, right? That's who Bill Maher talks to. John Oliver has a way better show. Larry Wilmore had a way better show. Trevor Noah has a way better show. As much as shit people give Trevor Noah and The Daily Show is way better than Real Time with Bill Maher. Now, if you take the guests on Real Time and the conversation the guests have among themselves, maybe that's interesting. But Bill Maher himself is the weakest link on his show. You could take Bill Maher out and just have Real Time with whoever, and it would still work as a show.
You put a sex robot in there.
Yeah, you really could. Or Bearcat. I'm just saying.
Real Time with Bearcat? That I'd fucking watch.
Yeah, I'd actually watch that. I'd watch that. Mm-hmm.
And the least interesting panel member gets eaten.
Right. Well, I'm sorry.
We're covered a lot of things today.
Yeah, we really did. We really did. All right.
This is real right here that we're going through.
So, yeah. So, last thing before we get in here, because I got to do it, because it wouldn't be a show if we didn't do it. Great moments of white privilege. Hold on.
Wait, who? Wait, what?
Great moments of white privilege. Man, it's been a while since you've been on this. Maybe we might not have done them when you were on the sanity check. Great moments of white privilege, man. Always got to find an article that deals with just some great moments shows off some white privilege here. Now, I will be honest here and say that the great moments of white privilege this week, I don't think they necessarily show the picture of the person, and they don't necessarily say it's a white person. But after reading this article and how it goes down, there is no way it could be anybody else but white. Let's see. Flight canceled after woman refuses to toss her drink. Fort Lauderdale, a Spirit Airlines flight has taken off from almost a full day later than originally scheduled after a passenger refused to toss her alcoholic drink when boarding the plane. The flight was scheduled to leave Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport Wednesday, headed to Columbia at about 11 a.m., but there was a maintenance issue that caused a slight delay. Passengers had to get off the plane and reboard, but however, one of the passengers tried to reboard the plane while drinking an alcoholic beverage, setting off a chain of events that would end up canceling the flight for the entire day. We sat back, and we all sat back down, and this woman was getting on the plane. She had a mixed drink, said passenger Ryan Brook, and the attendant was telling her, you can either finish it outside the plane or you can throw it away. A flight attendant told her that she couldn't bring the alcohol on the plane. Passenger said she pushed her way into the bathroom, locked herself in there for about 20 to 25 minutes. So they want to attack me, said a woman on a video sent in. Wait until the police come. She threw her drink at one of the people working on the plane to the passenger. The woman did eventually leave the plane, but it took long enough to get her off the plane. The pilots had expired their maximum flight time, so they weren't legally allowed to fly the plane. Everybody asked her, please get off, because we had 10 minutes to push off, said another passenger. They were ready to push off, literally ready to push off. She's the one that stopped the whole thing. When I heard the word sheriff, I said, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make the 10-minute window. But the stewardess said said if she gets off voluntarily, we can push off. And she heard that, and she says, well, I am not getting off, and if I don't go, nobody does. After the airline failed to secure another flight crew, The flight had to be canceled. Passengers said they were rebooked for a flight at 10:07 a.m. Thursday. Everybody's talking to everybody else. How could that lady do that? I mean, it was such a stupid thing to do. Passengers said the woman left the plane before Broward Sheriff's Office arrived and was not arrested. Do you think she should have been arrested? Probably, but what are you going to do? Said Brooke. According to the airline, the woman's ticket was refunded and she was not on Thursday's morning flight. She canceled. She got an entire flight canceled because she didn't want to throw out her drink, and she didn't get arrested. I'm sorry. They don't say what her race is, but I'm gonna go with white because no other race makes sense.
Who else would have the gall? Just the unmitigated gall. And, the reason why they come up with words like that is for white people. Like, you don't have those words in other languages. Like, I don't think gall translates into just what? I'm surprised somebody didn't suplex that bitch. Like, none of us are.
Right. Oh, no.
Somebody has to take one for the team.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be me, because if it was me, I'd probably saved up for like 6 months for that ticket. But somebody who can afford it. Right. This is why white people have to fight racism. Because, there was some white person on there who could have easily gotten another flight. She just picked that bitch up and suplexed her, got thrown off the plane, and got another flight. For the culture, for everybody, for America. Mm-hmm. We're the heroes when you need them.
Yeah. I read that story and was like, I read the story and go, this is crazy, man. She's going to get, and then when I got to the end, it said she didn't get arrested and she actually got her money refunded. I was just like, how? And I was like, oh, white. That's got to be it.
It's got to be it. There's no other explanation.
Right.
Like, who? It's not even that, like, who would get away with it. It's right. Who would think to do it.
Right. It's that Dave Chappelle. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even cross my mind to think that, what? No. All right. So it's now time. We're ending the show. It's time to do our Black woman shout out. So I have one sent in to me by Shanita Hubbard. She is a professor, speaker, and writer. She has a website, and it is let's see here. Hold on here. And she said, this summer I wanted to partner with writers looking for assistance with finding their voice. I provide one-on-one coaching to help scribes break down guards and develop a more intimate writing style. I can also be booked for speaking events that center on social justice, media, and prison reform. Thank you for your willingness to use your platform to help promote others. Yes, thank you very much for submitting to us. And her website is ShanitaHubbard.com. It's ShanitaHubbard.com. You can go there to find out about her writing workshops and speaking engagement. You can contact her there and reach out there. So please do that. And again, if you are a woman and want to get a Black woman shout out for your business and what you got going on, just email us at bwbusiness@mtrnetwork.net. And I'm pretty sure that for some of these women, you'll definitely be hearing from Latoya and for Secret Sauce to get her to be interviewed by her and to get even more promotion on that show there. John, do you have any Black women you want to shout out before we end the show?
Oh, so many. Well, I didn't prepare.
Putting you on the spot, man.
Oh God, the first person who came to mind is Monet St. Croix, who M from X Factor. Because I feel like she never gets credit for being a strong Black comic book character. She's left out of all the conversations. I need to get out more.
Hilarious.
All right. Oh, but for real, okay. Joyelle and Janelle. All right. Look, I don't want to mess this up.
I really put you on the spot here, man. My bad.
So many people popped up. All right. Joyelle Nicole Johnson and Janelle and Janelle James. They're two incredibly funny female black comedians. Look them up, Google them. They are so great and so amazing. And if they're in your area, you should really go see them. Joyelle or Janelle. Just look them up. They're the ones who first came to mind.
Cool.
So yes, they are two of the funniest women that are out there right now. And you may not know them, but you should.
Awesome. Well, there you guys have it. Again, John, can you tell everybody? We're gonna wrap the show up now. Can you tell everybody again about the show? Yeah, the geek show you have coming out this week, just in case anybody's in New York who can check you guys out. Please do. Just tell them where they can find that out, and just regularly where they can find you at also.
Yeah. So it's called The Geek Show. Once again, genuinely entertaining and essential knowledge.
I did all this because I just want to hear you say that again. That's really the only reason why I did this. So continue.
Huh?
No, I said the real reason why I asked you to do all this. I wanted to hear you say the acronym again. So
it flows off the tongue, right? I got it down. Yeah. So Geek Show. It's at the Creek in a Cave, which is 10-93 Jackson Avenue in Long Island City, New York. I believe that's Queens. I'm not sure. It's Wednesday, June 14th at 10 p.m. It's free. It's co-starring me and Dylan Stevenson are the hosts. And our guest will be Carolina Hidalgo, who does podcast called Movie Time with the Mads. She actually does a podcast with TV's Frank and with Dr. Forrester, Trace Below, and Billu. I don't know how to say his goddamn name. And Victor Vernado is going to be on there too. He's another great comic. He does a bunch of TV stuff. He's going out to LA. So that's going to be fun. Our theme is going to be disasters and the end of the world because, hey, it might be the end of the world. So you should definitely come out to that if you're in New York. It's a great time. And it's a very audience participatory show because, like geeks like to, shout out, jump into conversations. We encourage people to, join in the conversations. So it becomes a really great time. So you want to come out to that. I also have my other show, the Non-Productive Comedy Show, which is in Montclair, New Jersey. And it's just more of a straight-up stand-up comedy show hosted by me with great comics from New York and New Jersey. Definitely come out to that. That's $10 because comics are expensive. And otherwise you can just find me on Twitter at Don Coyote, at DONCOYOTE, or my Facebook page, which is John Alter Negro minus, because that was the name of my podcast back in the day when I did a podcast. So it's still there, the Alter Negro Show.
Awesome.
I keep thinking about maybe doing it again, but podcasting is work, especially now to keep up with you guys. Because when I started doing this Black Geek thing, you and Rod and Where's My 40 Acres and Fan Pros, none of y'all were around, so I wasn't really trying that hard. Right. But you guys now have taken it to a whole other level. I'm like, oh, that's hard.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It is. Seriously, me and Phenom were talking about this now, and even now, I got other podcasters doing stuff for me, and I mean, me coming in later on, editing, putting the shows up. I'm now trying to get the website together. It's a lot of fucking work, man. When people tell me, how do I get into podcasts? I'm like, do you really want to get into podcasts? It's it's a lot of work. It's like having another full-time job. So very, very exhausting.
Back when it was just me, and then me and the jailer. I think I even was doing it before This Week in Blackness. I think I started before them. Yeah, because when I started my podcast, I really
What year was that?
When did I start? It was the early 2000s.
Yeah. That because nobody was doing that stuff back then. I still remember when Keith and the Girl was doing it. I would listen to them. They were some of the people that were honestly, in my opinion, some of the pioneers of podcasting, because a lot of people just weren't podcasting back then. When I started the Insanity Check back in 2007, 2008, it took me so long just to look up how to do basics of podcasting. Just how do I get like how do I record this stuff? How do I get so if I do a Skype call, how do I hear the person on the Skype and they hear me? Like that kind of stuff, man. It's just it's a lot, man. So and now it's so fucking easy. Shit, what am I playing this stuff for? No, I'm not playing that. Stop playing that right now. Yeah, it's grown.
It was it was hard for me. It wasn't that hard for me because I always did it with my friend Frank who did who has a nonproductive.com. That's his podcast network. And we've been friends for like 20 years. So back then so he was doing it first and then I was like, hey, maybe you should do your own show. So that's when I started doing my show. Oh wow, I forgot. Like I'm looking back through some of mine. I did a show about Lucille Bluth versus Mallory Archer. Oh, and back when I used to watch Walking Dead, I did an episode called Just Look at the Flowers.
Oh man, I remember that episode. Fun times, killing kids. Can't beat that. Can't beat killing kids, man. It's always, Oh man,
I can't remember when I started, but I feel like it was 2012. Oh, maybe it was later than I thought it was.
But
felt like,
2012 was a long time ago. It was back when we had Obama, and life was good. So I could see how that feels like a lifetime ago. So there's that. Anyway, let's get ready to wrap this up. John, thank you very much for joining me on today's show. Today's Insanity Check. Everybody, again, you guys know where to find us. mtrnetwork.net. Search for there. You can also go to mtrnetwork.com. I finally got the .com. Got that working too. Also, go to go to store.mtrnetwork.net. Buy a shirt, guys. There's a lot of shirts there, really cool. Check them out. Again, for this show, subscribe. Insanity Check on iTunes, Stitcher Radio. Search for Insanity Check. We're also on Google Play Music and search for us there. The Insanity Check, and you'll get all those latest episodes up there as well. They'll be up there before they get to the main feed. So check that out. Go there and listen, and it'll be great. So again, if you're going to New York Con, we will see you next week. There won't be an Insanity Check next week, but we'll be back the following week to talk all about it. So look forward to seeing you guys if you guys are coming. And until next time, we are out of here. Peace.
Bye, guys.